The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on OpenSignal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
Bathfitter just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. Celebrate with payments as low as $125 a month. A beautiful bath installed in one day, no mess, and a lifetime warranty. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein has declared a state of emergency as Hurricane Aaron spins off the coast, kicking up the surf.
We are anticipating coastal flooding from massive waves, tropical storm force winds, and tidal and storm surge for much of the state shoreline.
There are beach closures on up to New England. KYW Radio's Tim Jimenez reports from the Jersey Shore.
The swimming prohibited signs are up at the beach entrances here in Ocean City, so beachgoers could only get their feet wet as lifeguards looked on. Tess from Fort Myers, Florida said the huge crashing waves are not to be messed with.
It's impressive, but it also makes you respect it. You're not going to be able to fight the sea at all.
8-year-old Isla was thankful that she got to go in the water earlier in the week, but admitted it was a challenge.
It was a little cold and the waves were so big that sometimes I had to swim back.
The Justice Department intends to investigate crime stats in D.C. that showed violent crime dropping before the federal takeover last week. Republican Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina wonders how far the Trump administration will go.
Where do we go from here? Do we go to Gary, Indiana, Detroit?
In Texas, Republican lawmakers will look to pass new congressional maps today that President Trump has pushed for. CBS News political director Finn Gomez.
Once the maps are passed, legal challenges from Democrats are expected to be filed, likely arguing violations of minority voting rights and other state constitutional concerns. Lawyers and advocacy groups are preparing lawsuits and gearing up for a fight. And Democratic-led states such as California are pursuing retaliatory redistricting plans aimed at neutralizing these Republican gains.
Also in Texas, a ruling delays enforcement of a law that calls for the 10 Commandments to be posted in every public school classroom.
U.S. District Judge Fred Beery issued the preliminary injunction just before the law was set to take effect September 1st. A lawsuit had argued that the law violated the First Amendment, prohibiting the government from establishing or endorsing a religion. Judge Beery stated that the display would likely pressure students into religious observance. Russell Scott for CBS News, Dallas.
CBS's Nancy Cordes has the latest on efforts to arrange talks between the presidents of Russia and Ukraine.
The goal is to have these talks take place within the next 2 weeks. Now, that's incredibly ambitious. These two men have not met face-to-face since 2019, 2 years before Putin invaded Zelensky's country. And the Russians this morning still aren't confirming that this meeting is actually going to take place.
Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 67 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Is your local grocery store set to close? 2 more added to the list. Details coming up at first. KIRO News Radio traffic. Near DuPont, a semi-crash is blocking just 1 lane now on I-5. You are still backed up into Lakewood. WashDOT says it's a 7-mile backup, and travel times Tacoma to Olympia, an hour and 45 minutes. Other travel times pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 26 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 42. Renton to Bellevue, 31. All at or better than usual. Traffic brought to you by Kia of Everett. Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A beloved Seattle dog walker and grandmother murdered 1 year ago today. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with details on a new memorial.
Friends of Ruth Dalton hope people will remember her as a kind woman and gentle soul.
Ruth was just doing her job and doing what she loved to do when she was brutally murdered.
Prosecutors say suspect Jamed Hayes killed Dalton and her dog Prince, but is mentally unfit to stand trial. The city will unveil a memorial plaque in Madison Park near where the 80-year-old grandmother would walk her neighbor's dogs along the beach. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Amid rising tensions and growing public concern, a religious concert planned for Cal Anderson Park and Seattle's Capitol Hill will be relocated to Gasworks Park. A similar concert and prayer at Cal Anderson led to this violent clash in May. The latest concert at Gasworks is scheduled for 10 days from now. The list of local Fred Meyer stores set to close is growing. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibau explains.
The Redmond and Lake City stores most recently added on Tuesday. They joined the Everett and Kent locations, with all 4 set to be gone by mid-October.
It's super close, it's always super busy, so that's surprising that it's closing.
There's not really other grocery stores nearby. This is very convenient for us.
This Lake City location has been a staple for shoppers in this neighborhood for years, and they're sad to see it go.
Parent company Kroger says rising crime and regulations make the store unviable. The city of Tacoma has agreed to pay $600,000 to former police officer Timothy Rankin, who claims city leaders defamed him after the death of Manny Ellis in police custody. Rankin was one of 3 officers who were acquitted in Ellis's 2020 death, but he says the city ruined his reputation. Tacoma's already paid Rankin and the 2 other cops $500,000 each to resign from the police department. The Mariners' Victor Robles just learned his punishment for this.
He picks up the bat and throws it at Estes. He's been tossed. He is yelling at Joe.
Robles got a 10-game suspension for hurling his bat during a rehab assignment in AAA. Robles apologized and says he was frustrated after being hit multiple times in that series. The Seattle Times reports he is appealing the suspension. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny today with highs in the mid-70s. It's 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show, everybody. Happy Wednesday, August 20th. And the word for today, Ursula, is kind.
Oh, I love that. It's one of my favorite words. Empathy and kind.
And you know what, Ursula? I think and I believe, we were talking out there this morning, I believe that being kind and having empathy, I think there are some that believe that that is a form of weakness. You know what I mean? Because I think the opposite. Especially with men, right? You gotta seem tough. You gotta appear tough.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Where are you going with this?
I ain't going nowhere. Just some people be mad.
Random thoughts.
Some people be mad at breakfast. Like how you mad having oatmeal and eggs, my boy?
Okay.
Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, have you ever heard of drop-in choirs?
Drop-in choirs?
Yeah. So they're happening in the Seattle area. I was thrilled to find out about this. In fact, I'm going to join one.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I'm going to drop in on one.
Lord
because
have
what I
mercy.
love is that we'll talk about it coming up at 9:30, but could they be the answer to our loneliness epidemic? And who couldn't benefit from more music in their life? So we're going to talk about that coming up at 9:30.
Yeah.
As always, we invite you to join us on our text line. Our KIRO News Radio text line is 888-973-5476. An easier way to remember that is 888-973 KIRO.
I want to say good morning to our friend Sharon Vale this morning. Good morning, Sharon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She's one of my very, very best friends.
No. Here we go. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
A bad week just got worse for Fred Meyer shoppers and employees in the Seattle area. Kroger has now confirmed 2 more closures, the Fred Meyer at Lake City Way in Seattle and the one in Redmond. They're going to both be shutting down in mid-October. And, of course, this comes just a day after the company announced those closures in Everett and Kent, which we talked about yesterday. All told, that is now 6 Kroger-owned stores coming off the map in our region, 5 Fred Meyers and a QFC just since July. And union leaders say the Lake City and Redmond shutdowns would impact about 700 workers. And they say these are a huge blow to the neighborhoods already struggling with reduced access to full-service grocery stores. Now, Kroger is sticking with their thing about these closures are due to, quote, rising theft and a challenging regulatory environment. But now, community leaders and even local police are pushing back, pointing that theft is actually down in some of the affected locations. And they're also criticizing the company for not actually providing any actual data to support those claims. Mm-hmm. And they're saying, like, how could we fix a problem if, A, the reports don't show what you're talking about? Mm-hmm. So critics say this feels more like shareholder protection in the wake of that failed Albertsons merger, especially given Kroger is still paying out billions in stock buybacks and executive compensation. So now with 2 more closing, what are you making of this?
There has been a shift in the grocery business. Now, before this shift, these stores can continue to operate. During COVID, you kept hearing the saying of there's going to be a new normal, a new normal. Well, hey, everyone, we're in a new normal. Ursula talks about it all the time. There's a lot of people that are working from home. New normal. You don't have the economic stuff that you used to have downtown. We are still in a situation where downtown isn't, all these offices aren't occupied. Here's where I'm going, Ursula. Because of this shift, the shift is spearheaded by the non-traditional players that's entered into the game. Amazon, Walmart are front and center into this game. Loss leaders are a big topic to talk about. A loss leader, an example would be when you go to Costco. Some of you all love the hot dog and soda. Ursula, you ever get the hot dog and soda?
Yes.
For $1.50?
Yes.
That
hasn't changed. And also, I've gotten the rotisserie chicken.
For $5?
Yes.
Okay. So these loss leaders, right? Well, Amazon can cut groceries and make some of those, don't worry about a profit because they know that there's going to be other items that you go to that you're going to go ahead and buy. That's number 1. Number 2, the discussion and conversation centered around the buybacks, the corporates, all that. You're right. Yes. As a matter of fact, if you go into your portfolio and you go and you look at all the other companies that you have, maybe you have stock in, maybe you don't. But I'm just trying to tell you, publicly traded companies do this to stay competitive. And I'll throw this back at you, Ursula.
That's a big part because I'm going to actually piggyback on that statement that you just said.
Okay, well, here's my question for everybody, and this is where I need y'all's help. Yes or no? Should grocery industry and healthcare industry be publicly traded?
Okay, I have a 2-part answer.
Come on.
They should not. A lot of the problems that we're dealing with today would be eliminated. Some new problems would crop up. But I would say overall, a lot of the problems we're dealing with today when it comes to healthcare, insurance, what we're talking about with these grocery stores, we would not be facing this if they weren't publicly traded companies. But that's one of those things. Toothpaste is out. It's not going back in. So it's kind of a question that really doesn't matter. I mean, should they? Sure. But are they going to be? No.
No. Hey, Ursula.
Yeah.
Here's why it does matter. It does matter because if it continues, the new normal is going to be this. We're going to have more food deserts. And there's a text that just came in from 253. It says, I love you guys and all the shows on KIRO, but I'm done. If I hear one more time of issues with Kroger and closing the stores that have zero to do with my life. You see.
Well, why does it have zero to do with his life? And that this is what's going to make him turn off the radio?
Well, there are some. No. But here's the thing. There are some people that hear a topic like this and they say, well, this isn't happening in my neighborhood.
Yes.
And so there are some people that feel like, why should this matter to me? I don't live in that area in Lake City.
I'll tell you why. Yeah, because if it's not in your... the folks in Redmond were not expecting this. They're like, well, wait a minute. Theft in Redmond? That's not even a thing. So I want to point out something, and the reason I have extra big bags under my eyes is because I stayed up really late kind of going into this. So I just want to point out that even if the Kroger-Albertsons merger had gone through, analysts and even Kroger's own folks they testified, and they said that stores would be on the chopping block. So do you remember during the Senate hearings, Kroger admitted that it planned to close redundant locations in overlapping markets like Seattle and Portland. And analysts estimated that up to 550 stores nationwide would be shut down post-merger, with the Puget Sound area listed as one of the most at-risk regions. So fighting that merger or fighting for that merger, it cost the company $1.5 billion. I'm bringing this up because the only thing that really changes is the excuse. Instead of blaming rising theft, they would have said, hey, we've got market overlap. We have too many stores in here. And because it is a publicly traded company, they need to keep making profit. And I'm not saying that shoplifting doesn't happen and theft isn't an issue. It is a big issue. But I would argue that it's not the driving issue because, again, we've pointed out to these statistics. And shoplifting is awful, and it does make customers feel unsafe. But I want to point out that why is it that Kroger would want to say, well, rising theft without actually backing up their claims? Why? Because it makes them the victim. Regulatory challenges, it makes them the victim. It's a convenient narrative for Kroger because it shifts the blame on the community and makes the company look like they're the victim instead of saying, you know what, we screwed up. It was a strategic cost-cutting move that failed. And so now we're having to make up what we were going to do anyway. Remember, they were going to cut over 500 stores. Mm-hmm. That's what analysts said. And then when they testified, they said, yeah, we're going to have to cut. So that's what is happening right now. And for that person who said, well, I'm not listening anymore because it doesn't affect me. When tons of people are losing their jobs in this community, it's going to affect you.
I'm going to say something that's probably unpopular with you and me that I don't usually say all the time. I believe Kroger. I believe Fred Meyer right now. And this is the reason why, and specifically about why they're closing these stores. When they are talking about the theft and they're talking about operating in the red, these stores in these neighborhoods have been operating in the red. Not only are they showing it, they're closing these stores and they're actually giving up. Like in the grocery industry, I've learned to give up territory like that is big.
But they were going to give it up anyway because, again, they wanted to merge. So they want to only they're not going to be. I saw someone, a mother using her kids at the QFC, Kroger owned, at U Village, stealing. Just last weekend, and 2 security guards were following her out the store, and she was yelling at them, and she was using her kids. They couldn't do anything, but they're not gonna cut that store. They're not gonna. Theft happens there too.
Yeah. So
I am big on. Hey, we're not cutting down on crime, and we're not cracking down on crime enough. But I'm not buying this idea that it's what's driving these to shut down.
Okay. One last thing, when it comes to QFC and the Fred Meyers of them. They have competition with Amazon.
Absolutely. That's a bigger thing, too.
And by the way, with that competition, correct me if I'm wrong, does Amazon, are they union? No. QFC, Fred Meyer, they're union. Safeway, Albertsons, they're union. So, hey, local workers, these places are going to pay you more. Yeah. Meanwhile, the biggest dog in the game doesn't have to pay as much because they're not unionized.
And you can have it delivered to your home, and it's going to cost you less. So
and if they can have it delivered to your home, and you just said 700 Seattle workers are going to be out of jobs.
Yes.
Do you guys see where this is going?
Yeah.
This is going to where, so some of you that says, well, this doesn't impact my neighborhood. This impacts us all because we'll have people that will lose jobs. And on the G and Ursula Show, if people are losing jobs, it is always a top priority to talk about.
Yes, absolutely. I just wish Kroger would keep it real. It's, I think it's a lot more than rising theft, and that is just, it is a bad situation everywhere.
But the theft
Ursula,
that theft is real though.
Oh.
It's real.
And
they don't have the money for the security.
How many times did I complain about it at that Fred Meyer?
You've been complaining about it.
Yes, but I think there's more to the story is my only point.
Okay.
Governor Bob Ferguson says the U.S. Attorney General is essentially threatening to throw him and other elected officials in jail, and he is not having it.
I am not intimidated by Pam Bondi or the president.
So in his blistering response yesterday, Ferguson accused Pam Bondi of embarrassing and disgracing her office by suggesting that governors, mayors, and even judges could face criminal prosecution for upholding sanctuary policies.
Washington State will not be bullied or intimidated by threats and legally baseless accusations.
So just to remind everybody, Bondi sent Ferguson a letter naming Washington as a sanctuary jurisdiction that obstructs federal immigration enforcement and warning of consequences that range from cutting off federal grants to actually prosecuting officials who refuse to cooperate with ICE. Here she is.
We are going to send in law enforcement just like we did during the LA riots, just like we're doing here in Washington, D.C.
Governor Ferguson insists that Washington's 2019 Keep Washington Working Act is fully legal, and he says it will withstand any challenge.
Our state legislature passed a bipartisan law that appropriately and lawfully limits the diversion of state and local resources to federal immigration enforcement.
So while he said they would be willing to fight it in court, there was no announcement yesterday, but he was joined by immigrant rights advocates, state lawmakers, and Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell, who also got a similar letter from Bondi.
Yeah. So this is all part of the plan. And you all know the state of Washington, if there's ever a time that troops were to be deployed here, I think that this is a state where homie don't play that. Like, we don't play those things. Like that, to come here and cause that and bring that ruckus, I think that, number one, this is something that Donald Trump knows, and this is what he would want. He would want a clash here in this state. And oh, by the way, Ursula, we keep seeing on the news where red states are continuing to send troops to blue states to, in air quotes, take care of crime. Right? This reminds me of something. It's almost like, let me get this straight. So red states are sending troops to those blue states, deploying them there. Ain't this a sneaky way of doing something that happened in the mid-1800s? I'm not the best person in the world to talk about this topic, but it sounds eerily similar and kind of seems like a chess match. Let me say again. Red states are sending troops to blue states.
I know what you're referring to. And just out of curiosity, because we talked about this with our guest, Dr. Jason Johnson, last week. And
he called it a stress test.
Yes. And so, because I was asking him the question as to why should we care about what was happening in Washington, D.C.? I mean, just a reminder, here's what he said. Okay, Dr. Johnson, you brought up Washington, D.C. For those of us here living in the Pacific Northwest, why should we care about what is happening in Washington, D.C. right now?
Because Seattle is next. Because they'll do the same thing in your city. I mean, like, look, I've been in L.A., I've been in D.C. When the president used, and here's the important thing to remember, it does not matter what the pretense is. Mm-hmm. And in Los Angeles, it was, well, there's
protecting
out of
the
control, undocumented people. That was a lie. It was just an attempt to test, a stress test, if you could do a military takeover of a city that you don't like. In Washington, D.C., it's supposedly crime, but it's just a stress test to see if you can take over an American city and intimidate the residents there. Seattle would be a top 3 or 4 place that they're going to go after next, because there are protests in Seattle. There's activism on the ground in Seattle. There are homeless issues in the city of Seattle. By the way, these aren't different than any other major city in America, but those are the kinds of things that this regime uses as a pretense for a military lockdown. So I think people in Seattle should definitely care about this.
Just to give you an idea of exactly how performative this is, Philip Bump at the New York Times took a look at the red states that are sending troops to D.C. So Ohio, South Carolina, West Virginia, Mississippi, and Louisiana. There are 64 cities in those 5 states that have higher violent crime rates than D.C.
And there you have it. We are living in very strange times.
Red states sending troops to blue states. Good stuff, Ursula. We only got through 2 topics. What's been going on lately?
We're going deep.
We go deep.
Remember I told you I was going through rabbit holes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Today was one of those days.
Yeah.
Because it would be so much easier to do a show if I could just throw it out and just say, yeah, it's all about the theft. It's about failed policies. It's about theft. It's about we are not cracking down. I mean, some of those things are absolutely true. Yeah. But when you want to start digging deep into, okay, wait a minute, what is really happening? Fact check. You go down some deep holes.
People, check this out. I believe that people would love you and I more if we turned on a microphone and we said, hey, the reason why these stores are closing, because y'all keep stealing. You better stop stealing. You need to work hard and pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. And then that's it. Next topic.
But can I say, I want you to stop stealing. I mean, I was so furious of that mom using her children as a front. I mean, we hate the theft too.
We hate it too, but there's more to this topic, right? But again, some make it easier than others. 9:47. We need to talk about Seattle's drinking numbers. They're down. That's right. And up next, wait, what? Drop-in choirs? Maybe they might want to sing with Earth, Wind, and Fire. Well, we'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing, nonstop.
My number one app. Every day it tells me it's the number one thing I use on my phone.
First thing I looked at when I woke up.
First thing I see in the morning. Last thing I see at night is the weather.
Then I'll roll over and kiss her after that.
My wife says, "Don't kiss me after you look at your weather app."
I feel hot and sweaty.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Homeowners, federal tax credits on heat pumps end soon. Home Comfort Alliance can help you save up to 75% on new in-stock heat pumps with combined discounts, utility rebates, and expiring federal tax credits on systems installed by December 31st. These are new in-stock high-efficiency models that will make your home comfortable year-round. Federal tax credits expire December 31st, so don't wait. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, it's Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 Gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
Send off summer with the power of zero at Kendall Ford of Marysville. Get 0% APR, make zero down payment, and have zero payment for up to 90 days on select new Fords. Go electric and save an incredible $17,000 off MSRP on a new all-wheel drive 2024 Ford F-150 Lightning Pro Crew Cab and get 0% APR. Save over $2,300 off MSRP on a new 2025 Ford Mustang Mach-E Select and get 0% APR. Save over $2,300 off MSRP on a new 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend 4x4. Check out the savings and stop by Kendall Ford of Marysville today. Kendall, let's start something great.
VIN number RWG 33493, SMA 24296, and SRE 72794. $20.83 per month for $1,000 finance, subject to credit approval with Ford Credit. Interest will accrue during the deferred payment period. All factory rebates subject to change. Price does not include taxes, title, or license. A negotiable documentary service fee of up to $200 may be added to the sale price of the vehicle. Subject to prior sale, see dealer for details. Offer expires 9/2/25.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. If you want a green card, watch what you say and post on social media. That's the gist of a new federal policy, and Seattle immigration and civil rights attorney Andrew Chan tells me he has concerns.
They're setting up a framework for officers to deny applications simply because they disagree with whatever the individual's constitutionally protected views and expressions are.
Under the new U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services policy, immigrants can be denied a chance to live and work in the U.S. for promoting so-called anti-American ideologies or activities. Washington State Governor Bob Ferguson is responding to what he calls a shameful letter from the U.S. Attorney General.
Washington State will not be bullied or intimidated by threats and legally baseless accusations.
The letter from AG Pam Bondi labels Washington a sanctuary jurisdiction. On Fox News, she threatened to limit federal funding if the state does not comply with ICE and send in the troops as she did in LA and DC. Ferguson says he is prepared to take on the Trump administration in court. Texas state lawmakers are expected to vote on a Trump administration-backed plan to redraw congressional districts. This would likely turn over 5 seats held by Democrats in the U.S. House to Republicans. CBS's Omar Villafranca.
Now, Democrats in California, they're fighting back, where the party obviously has control of the state there. Dems are looking to counter the move by Texas and redraw their districts. But first, they have to ask voters to approve of those maps. Now, all this moves in both states from the state house to the courthouse because you have California Republicans suing there and Texas Democrats are suing here in federal court. They're asking for a hearing next month to try to stop this.
There's no stopping Hurricane Aaron. It's turning off the East Coast and stirring up some big waves. No swimming signs are up along the Jersey Shore. This visitor needed no convincing.
It's impressive, but it also makes you respect it. You're not going to be able to fight the sea at all.
Aaron is not expected to make landfall, but storm surges, rip currents, and coastal flooding is possible. A newly converted hybrid electric ferry is out of service less than a month after it returned to the Washington State Fleet. Former Washington Governor Jay Inslee had praised it.
It's got the most advanced electric propulsion system ferry, not just in Washington, not just in America, but in North America.
A spokesperson tells the Seattle Times there's a mechanical issue causing the Wenatchee to lose power. They're looking into it. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 11 points. NASDAQ is off 189. KIRO Newsradio traffic. All lanes have reopened finally on southbound I-5 near DuPont after a semi-truck crash. But you've still got quite a big backup all the way into Lakewood right now. Travel times Tacoma to Olympia still about an hour and a half. Other travel times are pretty good. Everett to Seattle, 22 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, 38. Renton to Bellevue, 33. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny today with highs in the mid-70s. It's 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate all of you and how involved you are with our show. Our text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Welcome to all of you who are watching on YouTube as well. And hopefully y'all are behaving over there. Hey, are you looking for a fun way to get out in the community and make some noise, some beautiful noise? And I'm talking about not going to a sporting event. And this was something that I read in the Seattle Times, and I was like, man, this is the best idea ever. So more and more people around here are turning to drop-in choirs. One is crowdsourced choir and one-night choir. There are two places or two groups that offer this. And so a way to connect with strangers, and you can belt out some classics. You don't have to be really good at singing. And you just pay for a $35 ticket, and that gets you into Crowdsourced Choir's Summer Steam Plant Series. And imagine a couple of hundred strangers getting together and then singing things like songs from Fleetwood Mac, Beatles, or Brandy Carlisle. And they actually sound pretty good. Okay, you're looking at me weird, but
because I was in a pre-show meeting, I didn't want to bring it up. I was going to wait till we got on the show.
Okay, you think this is weird?
Absolutely.
Why?
As a matter of fact, this whole topic right here, only you would think that this topic was interesting. Don't nobody want to do no damn drop-in choirs. And
Okay,
I got to pay money.
Grocery stores?
And I got to pay money. I got to pay $35. And by the way, the whole singing and stuff, there's a lot of people that can't sing. You can sing.
Okay, wait. Oh, there are a lot of people who can sing.
Not many.
Wrong.
No, there's a lot of people who think they can sing.
And by the way, you don't have to be great. They teach you basics in a group. You know, even if you're slightly off pitch, it's going to sound good because you got people surrounding you. And again, I mean, you love to pay. How much do you pay to go into a game? Okay, you don't. Okay. If you had to pay, it would be way more than $35. You probably you'd be sitting next to some drunk dude. And in this place, you have people who all believe in the joy of music. And you work together. You don't care what political stripes they are. You don't care about anything other than making beautiful music together. What could you not like about that? Okay, you got to understand, though, too. I was involved in choirs from the time I was a
I know.
baby.
That's why I said I know you love this. And I just want to tell you that the majority of people, Ursula, this whole drop-in choir, you got the priority list of things you need to do. Eat, shower, go to Denny Blaine, pay your rent, pay your car payment, and then at the very bottom of the list is a drop-in choir.
Oh, that's
Ain't
why,
nobody trying
that's
to do
why
no drop-in choirs.
That's why several hundred people got together, paid the $35.
There's 8 million people in Washington.
Yes. You are so bad. You are so bad.
Look, I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is a whale moment for me.
Yeah, okay, then I'll leave it to you. Chef, I'm going to join me here. Okay.
How much you got to pay for parking, Ursula?
Not in the singing, but gee, there's things outside of sports ball, man.
Gosh.
We have a wide swath of community here with all kinds of interests.
Text us.
253 says, G, I'm so disappointed in you. First of all, wait in line. Anyway, I'm so disappointed in how you're judging that you are about this. Singing in a group is so much fun. You should try it sometime.
You really should. It is. It can
send
be
a picture of you
spirit
singing.
moving.
253. Send a picture of you singing in the group, and I stand corrected.
Okay. Do you want me to send you a picture?
I know you got pictures.
Okay. John in Bremerton says, actually, Ursula, music is the thing that is going to bring people together. Danny says, I would totally be down for a drop-in choir. I knew nothing about it. I used to sing Sweet Adelines. That was a very organized group. You have to be committed. What I love about drop-in choir is you don't have to go every week. You don't have to go every month. You can go when you dang well feel like it and just pay that little money and get together and do something for one night. I think it's fantastic.
Well, you know what? I'm the minority on this. There's a lot of people that are texting in.
Our text line is blowing up right now.
I tell you
are wrong.
I bet you can't do this. I bet you can't do this. I bet you between now and the end of 2025, you cannot do any type of project that brings some of these listeners together and go sing somewhere. I bet you can't do it. If y'all good on me so much, y'all say y'all want to sing.
Promising to do a on-the-road show now for 5.5 years.
Don't nobody want to go and sing? Everybody wants to sing in the shower.
My wife will go.
Yeah,
she sings in a choir.
I would totally do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be a great activity.
I would absolutely go with Gabby.
You know what I really think? I think a lot of you guys are just really motivated to text in and just say how much you disagree with me.
Even Allie in Tacoma, she says, this must be the once a year I disagree with G. If you got Allie
She's the one listener.
Allie, by the way.
Thank you. Kathy in Tacoma said it beautifully. Music worldwide is a universal language that crosses all barriers. It brings joy, relaxation, love, and togetherness. Absolutely true.
I think it brings...
G needs a big hug this morning.
I think it brings joy to maybe hear it. This does not bring joy for you to go and do it.
Hey,
Just like public speaking.
What did you love about playing... No, hold on a second. No, seriously. And folks who have never gotten into team sports, it would be like them saying, what does anyone find interesting in team sports? Why do you love team sports?
Because it is the greatest thing to teach you about life. I think sports teaches you about life. And ain't nothing about singing teaching you about life.
Oh, my word. You're so wrong. When you get together, you work together to create something beautiful, and you're working to learn how to harmonize together, and you end up with this beautiful creation after just a couple of hours and dropping in one night, meeting strangers. I mean, this sounds like the most perfect thing.
You want to know? And then, see, what happens is in the crowd, there's always those people that's judges. See, used to be my mom and them. Sister Jenkins thinks she can sing. Look at her just singing loud. She sounds terrible.
That's not what folks who go to this thing. By the way, read the Seattle Times. There's an event coming up this Friday, and you're so bad.
Gee, the problem is if you want to sing, you actually have to be vulnerable in public, right?
Yes.
And that's uncomfortable. It's super uncomfortable.
Jason and Buckley, you and I. He's a longtime tenor. I sang tenor as well. Actually, I sang baritone. My voice just kept getting lower and lower.
Nick, you sing?
I can sing a little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
he
Nick
sings
can
amazing.
sing.
Yeah, he can sing.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, wrong person to ask. Nick, does this sound good to go do this?
Would you do a drop-in choir?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thank you. Point made.
Hey, I'm gonna pull up like Eddie Kane, because can't nobody sing like Eddie Kane. And shout out to anybody that gets that reference. If you know who Eddie Kane is, and you know.
Depends on the songs in the choir, though. I don't want to do any musical or anything.
Oh my gosh, Celine in Federal Way, G and Ursula. I am 88 years old, and my greatest joy is singing in my senior choir. Thank you.
Okay, Celine. You win.
You win.
Yeah, you.
She takes back everything.
This is G's horse dancing moment.
Celine, you win.
Yes, it truly.
And I would.
And I think you're missing out not having tried it. So anyway, drop in choir. Need to do it.
Coming up next, we need to talk about drinking numbers. Seattle folks, y'all ain't drinking that much no more. We'll talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, the Northwest's trusted news source.
Get the latest from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
It happened Wednesday morning just after 6 o'clock.
Experienced voices you trust.
Several people hurt after a violent Saturday in Pierce County.
Coverage you depend on.
More from KIRO News Radio's Matt Markovich.
It's as close to a veto warning as you could possibly get.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
It's G. Scott here to talk about Urban Eyes. Urban Eyes, you have been seeing them everywhere. They're being talked about everywhere. That's because they are the number one optical place in the state of Washington. Over there in the heart of Kirkland Urban, they specialize in identifying and treating the root causes of dry eye so you can get real, lasting relief. Some of these symptoms, gritty, sandy feeling, maybe some of that redness and irritation, blurred vision, light sensitivity, excessive tearing. Yes, sounds odd if your eyes are watering, but yes, this is one of the leading symptoms of dry eye. Another thing that causes dry eye, screen time, reduced blinking, aging, of course, and contact lens wear. All of it. Go over and see Dr. Dana and her teams over there at Urban Eyes. You won't be disappointed. You can book online at myurbaneyes.com.
Yikey Wawa.
What?
My hot water.
Yeah?
Not so hot.
Water heater trouble?
It's not working.
We can fix that.
This week?
How about today?
Apollo Plumbing really is ready right now.
Especially when it comes to water heater replacement.
Think I need a new one?
Is it more than 10 years old?
It is.
Probably so.
Doesn't heat like it used to.
It runs out?
All the time.
That's a warning sign.
Uh-oh.
So are little leaks.
But Apollo can get me a new one?
Installed today by our clean screen trained and trusted plumbers. They're water heater experts.
But I probably got to pay a rush fee.
No extra charge.
You make this too easy.
We'll even haul off the old one.
A new water heater.
Same day. That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
This is going to get my budget in hot water.
Got you covered there, too.
How?
Our available payment plans.
I don't have to wait?
Or take cold showers.
You are a lifesaver.
Call us this morning. You'll have hot water today.
That's the Apollo Plumbing way.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind and the Care Partners Living Difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. We love it when we have guests coming on the show because coming up at 10 o'clock, City Council Member Joy Hollingsworth will come in and we'll be asking her about the grocery store closures. She'll be in studio next in the 10 o'clock hour. But right now, oh, by the way, a lot of you guys beat me up again today about the drop-in choirs. And so that's 2 days in a row. I can't remember what y'all beat me up about yesterday, but you know what? Y'all getting too used to this lately. And I just won't allow it.
I think it had to do with our scenarios yesterday.
Oh, no, wasn't it at the table? The little girl, the 3-year-old.
Like how much you're spending, on dates.
How much you're spending. Matter of fact, yesterday they beat me up about everything yesterday. I came home. Okay. I got beat up so bad I went to sleep.
But I think this one, you're going to win.
Okay. Oh, I need it. Here we go. Seattle may look like a city built on microbrews and craft cider, but if you're under 35, chances you're just not drinking that much these days. New Nielsen data shows a massive generational split in how much people around here drink. Overall, about 6 in 10 adults in the Seattle area has had at least one drink in the past month. But among the younger adults, 18 to 34, it is dropped 53%, and young men are the least likely to drink of anyone at just 51%. Now compare that to the 35 to 49 crowd, where 2/3, 66% say that they've had alcohol recently, and nearly 70% of men in that age group have had a drink. It's not just age, there's a gender gap too. Among all ages, men in Seattle are slightly more likely to drink than women. Here's a couple facts. Seattle ranks number 1 in the nation for hard cider consumption, 10% of adults. We're also number 2 for craft beer, right behind them folks down south in Portland. But for beer overall, we're pretty much average compared to other U.S. cities. Now, somebody's probably listening to Ursula, they'll probably say, well, you know what? You guys have been really talking about the decline in alcohol a lot. That's because this is a topic I like to talk about. Good morning, Ursula.
Yes. And it is because when did you give up alcohol?
I mean, back and forth, I think about 8 months.
But you've been pretty much alcohol-free since then. Mm-hmm. And you were doing it for health purposes?
Yeah. And then I just started to notice that that I just feel better not doing it now. But I want to admit something to everyone, because this past weekend I had folks over at the house. We did a hibachi with G kind of deal at my house, and everybody was having fun, and they had the little sake going around there, and people were just having a good time. For a minute, in my head, Ursula, in my head, it looked and it felt in my heart that people were having more fun than me. So I was talking to myself, and I said, self, how about you maybe just one drink? One drink ain't gonna hurt. One drink? So I was really close.
Yeah.
To just having a drink.
And then what
for that
ultimately made you stop? Because I think that's going to be helpful to a lot of people.
I think a conversation probably got my mind off of it.
Yeah.
Because I was headed there.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes, man, you just feel like you know what you used to be. I know I used to be fun. And as a matter of fact, I've said this on the show.
Here's the thing. Huh? You think you used to be fun because your memories are also blurred by alcohol.
That's true.
And you had fewer inhibitions. You were in a different kind of atmosphere in that you didn't give a care. You weren't thinking as much. You weren't as in your head as you are right now because you're clear. Your mind is clear. Mm-hmm. And so as far as this survey, which I want to give thanks to the Seattle Times FYI guy, because this is straight from him, from 18 to 34, 53%, and young men are the least likely to drink of anyone at just 51%. I mean, that is a shift, right? I mean, so I think that there is a lot of education that is going on.
I think so, too.
I think that there are other things. I mean, we said Seattle is number one in the country for hard cider consumption. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like the taste of beer, so I would never be part of this survey. Same. But I do like the taste of hard cider. Mm-hmm. I do like the taste of. I just found out that I like the taste of Porto. I like port wine because it's sweet. It's just if it tastes too bitter or too much like alcohol, it's not my thing. But I find it encouraging that more and more people, especially young people, are turning away from alcohol.
I think that there was. I think I told you a few weeks ago at the preseason game, I was walking into the stadium, and there was these young men. They were walking in front of me, and they were talking about not drinking, and I was like, man. So I mean, to hear young men in their 20s talk about how they're like, oh no, I'm staying away from that. It kind of re-encouraged me to continue on. But again, somebody said it's like sometimes people that don't drink are like vegans or those that do CrossFits. They want to let you know and tell you.
Well, now Dave in the 206 points out that it might not be so much of a shift. It's much more of a shift with people moving from alcohol to marijuana.
Oh, no, that's for sure happening.
Yes.
That's for sure. And I mean, you don't ever hear about any family fights on marijuana. Family fights and things that happen, usually sometimes that monkey oil is around, alcohol. You know what I mean? So, all right, good stuff. Ursula, we got a guest coming in. She's coming in studio. Seattle City Council member Joy Hollingsworth will join us in studio to talk about all of the grocery store closures and how it will impact Seattle and even those outside of Seattle. We do that next. Gee and Ursula.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No. We tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes. Our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first. Because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Homeowners, federal tax credits on heat pumps end soon. Home Comfort Alliance can help you save up to 75% on new in-stock heat pumps with combined discounts, utility rebates, and expiring federal tax credits on systems installed by December 31st. These are new in-stock high-efficiency models that will make your home comfortable year-round. Federal tax credits expire December 31st, so don't wait. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, it's Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Oh,
deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Governors from North Carolina north to New England are closing beaches, urging caution and preparing for possible flood damage from Hurricane Aaron. The big storm is well offshore, but powerful enough to produce strong surf. Will Ray is North Carolina's Director of Emergency Management.
Regardless of her track, moderate to locally significant impacts are expected along our coast and expected to peak today and into tomorrow.
Lawmakers in Texas are poised to act today on new Republican-drawn congressional districts. Texas Tribune reporter Kayla Guo.
I think you'll hear Democrats argue that the map unconstitutionally packs and spreads voters of color across districts, making it less likely for them to be able to select their preferred candidate. Republicans will tell you that this map was drawn purely to maximize partisan gain. It does create one additional Hispanic majority seat and 2 additional Black majority seats, in addition to 2 majority white seats.
Also in Texas, reporter Chris Fox has more on a ruling that for now blocks enforcement of a law that calls for the 10 Commandments to be displayed in public school classrooms.
U.S. District Judge Fred Beery issued a preliminary injunction stating Texas Senate Bill 10 likely violates the First Amendment's Establishment Clause. 16 Texas families filed a lawsuit to block it from taking effect on September 1st. Their attorney, Tommy Buser-Clancy.
Public schools are for education, not for religious conversion, and school officials can't and should not be imposing religious scripture on students as a condition of getting their public education.
In June, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a lower court decision blocking a similar law in Louisiana.
NATO defense chiefs have discussed potential security guarantees for Ukraine to help end Russia's 3-year war. CBS's Aaron Navarro has more on the White House effort to get the presidents of the two countries in the same room.
They want to lock in a date and place for that meeting within the next 10 days. And one potential site that we're learning about is Budapest in Hungary. One source with knowledge of the planning says that Hungary has, quote, expressed its openness to host these talks.
So CBS's Linda Kenyon tells us President Trump used social media to take aim at a target at the Federal Reserve.
President Trump says Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook should step down following allegations of mortgage fraud. Trump has made similar claims of mortgage fraud against other Democrats who have crossed him, including New York Attorney General Letitia James. Cook is one of the Fed members, along with Chairman Jerome Powell, who have cited inflationary concerns for their decision to leave interest rates unchanged.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 51 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today.
A late dog walker honored. The story coming up at first. KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Seattle, a crash is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound at MLK Junior Way. In Bellevue, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near Southeast 8th Street, not contributing to a lot to the usual slowdown we see in those areas. All lanes have reopened on southbound I-5 near DuPont after a semi-truck crash earlier. Your backup is starting to break up, but travel time Tacoma to Olympia is still about an hour and 15 minutes. Traffic brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A violent clash erupted when a conservative religious group gathered at Cal Anderson Park in the heart of Seattle's LGBTQ community last May. Now, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports there are plans for another gathering.
Organizers of the new August 30th rally agreed to move to Gasworks Park, although they still plan on holding a Jesus March in Cal Anderson. Despite previous violence, city leaders granted a permit saying everyone has a right to free speech. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Today marks 1 year since the killing of a beloved Seattle grandmother and dog walker. Friends remember Ruth Dalton as a kind and gentle soul.
Ruth was just doing her job and doing what she loved to do when she was brutally murdered.
Prosecutors say the man accused of killing Dalton and her dog is mentally unfit to stand trial. Today, the city plans to unveil a memorial plaque along Madison Park. That's near the place where the 80-year-old grandmother would walk her neighbor's dogs. Investigators say a man died today after being hit by 2 trucks as he tried to cross State Route 167. Trooper John Datillo says the area has limited parking, so fishermen notoriously race across several lanes of traffic to get to the Puyallup River.
The speed limit here is between 50 and 55 miles an hour. This is just an unsafe place to cross. There's no crosswalk. It's especially in the morning. It's poorly lit. There's no streetlights in the area.
Datillo says even during today's investigation, more fishermen were attempting to cross SR 167 on foot. He's urging people to be careful. Kroger confirms 2 more Fred Meyer stores in Lake City and Redmond are set to shut in October. Earlier this week, the company announced a store in Everett and one in Kent would also close this fall. Lake City shoppers tell KIRO 7 TV they will be sad to see them go.
It has strong memories for me, the store being here, and also the access to it. I live a block away. My pharmacy is here. It's just a shame what's going on with the theft in the area.
A union for store workers says the closures put communities at risk of becoming food deserts. Kroger says rising crime and regulations make the stores unviable. Washington State has seen 11 cases of measles this year, the latest just confirmed in Spokane. Measles is highly contagious. It can lead to lifelong health problems and even death. Measles was once declared eliminated in the U.S., but low vaccination rates have led to a 30-year high in U.S. cases. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs in the mid-70s. It's 64 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
What's up, everybody? It's the G and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday, August 20th. Ursula, 23 minutes away. In 23 minutes, I wonder if any of the G and Ursula Show listeners are going to pull up to Ridgefield, Washington, and have you your first In-N-Out meal on Washington soil. Is there anybody listening? Anybody heading down there? Because in about 23 minutes, you're going to have an opportunity to get some In-N-Out.
Okay, why is this? Why is it that In-N-Out, like Chick-fil-A, first of all, gets this kind of big, anticipated rollout? We talk about it. It's crazy how much free marketing they get. And then, they had to make sure that folks were going to follow traffic rules. They got to get everything ready.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy to me.
It's crazy.
Would you wait in line that long to get a burger of any kind? And if so, which burger would it be?
Well, check this out.
It's not going to be an In-N-Out burger.
Some people, In-N-Out gives them joy.
Just like the choir thing. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, text us. If you got the answer for that, what would you be willing to wait for? There's big doings in Ridgefield. You showed me a video, like live
It was
stream.
a line. They pulled up. They was there last night at 9:30 p.m. in line. I told Chef, that's his delegation hanging out.
I think that has nothing to do with burgers. I think it has everything to do with just the camaraderie and to be able to say I was
Instagram,
at that first.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was there at the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, text line is 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
So right now, one of our top stories was that Kroger, which owns Fred Meyer and QFC, announced this week that they are going to shut down more stores. And we're talking about a Fred Meyer now in Lake City. We talked about the one in Kent and Redmond yesterday. Yeah. The Seattle one came as a bit of a surprise because we had just talked about these yesterday, and then after the show, we found out that was happening. So at the same time that the Fred Meyer is shutting down, the Seattle City Council just voted to put a tax hike on the November ballot targeting those very same large corporations. So we invited Seattle City Council member Joy Hollingsworth to join us here on the Gee and Ursula Show, and I'm thrilled to say that she is in studio. Good morning, Council member.
Hey, good morning. I'm happy to be here, and I'm just Joy. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I tried to say that a second ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be respectful,
Thank
and
you, Ursula. I
thank you so much. Okay. So, first of all, I would love to get your reaction to the news that Kroger is saying because of rising theft and because of regulatory challenges, they are closing these stores, and now they have announced the Lake City store is closing in mid-October. Are you buying their reasoning?
So, a couple months ago, Kroger announced that they were closing 60 stores nationwide. And no one knew what they were going to be. And so now we're seeing this slow rollout on different places across the country. And unfortunately, we just lost one in Lake City that they're closing. And I think it's fair to say that a grocery store just doesn't close overnight. Like a grocery store, it takes a long time for that decision to be made. And there are very slim margins, and there's a lot of operational costs that go into a grocery store. And so you have, taxes, you have just distribution logistics, you have a little labor in there, you might have security. There's so many different things that factor into that, where your margins are super thin, and it's unfortunate.
So in a neighborhood like Lake City, which we could describe as it's a working class neighborhood, and when we hear about grocery stores closing, in your position as a council member, do you worry that we're going to have essentially these deserts when it comes to grocery stores?
Heck yeah. So the two biggest places in our city that are some of the food deserts, South End, so south of I-90, and then North End, Northgate, which are some of the two most also affordable, and I say that very lightly in Seattle, some of the most affordable places to live. And when those go down, that is your pharmacy. That is the place that people go get, obviously, their food. Also, the piece I think people are missing, too, are the food banks and nonprofits that go to that store to be able to receive and extend the life of food to go and pass out to their folks. And so it's a loss for the community, and I do believe that we could potentially see more in our city, and we as officials have the job to be able to protect those and see grocery stores in a different category than just a regular retail store.
Joy, two-part question here. First, I'll start off with, what can we do? What can we citizens do? The next one I'm going to ask you what y'all can do. But what can we do? Because it feels and seems like the train is moving. If the box can't be closed, there will be stores closing. What can we do?
Yeah, so as citizens, the first thing is shop local. You have a lot of time. So look, a lot of people don't know Walmart's the largest grocery store in the country. 90% of people in the country live in a 10-mile radius of Walmart. They're the largest grocer. And so you have some of these smaller people like Kroger, you have Safeway, Albertsons, Trader Joe's. Those are some of your more local brands that are a little bit more invested in community. So number one, it's shopping local. Number two, it's also advocating to city council about how important these grocery stores are, because we as city officials need to make sure that we are categorizing them differently than just a regular nation brand store. And for stuff that they need, maybe their connection to the city, maybe it's regulation, maybe it's a tax credit, all these things to keep that grocery store into the community.
Okay, now what y'all gonna do?
Yeah, so great. Thank you. Great question. This is what we're going to do. So look, for the last 18 months that I've been on I think it's 19 months now, I lose track and I just say, hey, over years. So the last 19 months since I've been on council, I have been trying to elevate the food insecurity in our city, food access points, grocery stores, and how important they are. That's not only talking points at city council, that's through the news, that's on this show, but also I sit in a policy position, a regulation position, which I'm going to be exploring with our mayor's office and our legal team to find out what credits, what incentives can we make sure that grocery stores are able to survive in our city? A prime example, PCC closed downtown, and they were in a large footprint. They had to close. They came back in a smaller footprint, 5,000 square feet, with some city help, which was like permits and making sure that they could open in that space, some public safety stuff. Those are things that we can help with as a city to figure out, okay, what does a neighborhood need? Maybe they don't need a full grocery store. Maybe they need a smaller footprint, and we need to embrace that and figure out how we can help with that process for people to get food.
Now, critics say Seattle's policies, like the higher minimum wage, the scheduling rules, maybe even the plastic bag ban, may have pushed grocery stores to exit sooner than they otherwise might have. And then now we've got a B&O tax that we're talking about as well in November. How do you respond to that? Is the city partly to blame for these businesses leaving?
I think we need to take responsibility for some of the environment and climate that we've made. It's not, you don't want to point fingers and say, well, they're making billions of dollars. Why are they closing stores? We kind of have to look in the mirror at times and say, hey, what are we doing? What can we do better? Some of those could be regulations. Some of those could be some public safety stuff, just a better communication with grocery stores. Maybe it's a monthly meeting with your neighborhood groceries to understand what their challenges are and how you can help facilitate better services.
As a council member, when you hear, and look, right now, everybody's talking about the crime, which, by the way, since the beginning of time, there's always been crime, and there's crime today, no doubt about it. But can you speak to, and since this is something that is near and dear to your heart, talking about the grocery part, can you speak to the part where, yes, there's crime, however, there also are avenues for people to not shop at these stores. They can go on Amazon, they can go through Walmart and not have to shop locally. So the stores end up being even more in the red.
Oh, absolutely. It is a combination of a lot of things. So, and you nailed it right now. A lot of people want to shop online. They want to go on Amazon. They want to go on Walmart to get their food. They want it to be delivered. You have some grocery stores setting up these dark grocery stores where they're just delivery points. They're not a full service grocery store. They go there, they order online, and they're able to get it. So that is definitely a mix in it. Our change and our shift, just how we shopped. You know, how the online commerce has changed that retail thing. You can just go look at downtown and see the difference in pattern and behavior with people as well. And so that's also a piece too. And I have not said crime, not one time. You said it about 10 times. Gee, I just wanted to point that out.
Well, the funny thing is, on the crime situation, though, that is the one thing that everyone does glom onto, right? I mean, that is the one thing
they do, and it's a problem. It is a huge problem. Reality, it's a huge problem. Not only, look, the thing is not necessarily the crime piece. It's the amount of security that a store has to pay to make sure that they're secure, right? So it might be the security guards, it's the camera, it could be the blue lighting in the bathroom so people can't find their veins for like the drug situation that's going on in our city, there are a lot of operational costs that go into the safety piece of a store. It's not necessarily always the theft; it's the preventative measures that the stores are paying for operations.
Right, and I absolutely saw that at the Lake City Fred Meyer. Okay, so given this climate, given that there are some businesses that are choosing to move out, Seattle voters are going to be deciding this fall on this B&O tax for the city's largest corporations. Supporters say it's a fair share fix to deal with, human services, but you've heard the critics who call it a boneheaded move, and you're smiling, but you've heard that. I mean, that is of course a headline that had some legs. How do you respond to that criticism? Like, why should people vote for this when we feel like, I'm going to speak for myself as someone who lives in Seattle, feel like we're just getting taxed out?
Yeah, so I voted for this on council to support this. It relieves from some of our smallest businesses for them to get relief up to $2 million. But here's the thing, and I said this before on to some folks, is that the next tax I vote after this is going to be some type of thing that can get money in people's pockets. And we need to have if this is progressive revenue, we need to have progressive outcomes as well. And that is where I'm at with everything. I want the same type of progressive outcomes as we are pushing progressive revenue as well.
And could you expand on that? What are you talking about?
Yeah, so prime example, some of the categories that this tax goes into could be food security. I want to make sure that money's going directly to people. So I said, hey, if I'm voting for another tax, I'm going to do some type of universal basic income for folks. Money directly into people's pockets. Instead of cutting through the bureaucracy and all the things that happen with, where it gets tied up, money directly to people's pockets. If we're really trying to shake things up and get people out of poverty and move and shift the needle for economic mobility, we have to cut the red tape as government and give it directly to people.
We're joined here by Seattle Council member Gee Hollingsworth on the G and Ursula Show. And Joy, you just said something that people will probably say, that's what G says all the time.
It is.
Now,
it is.
I listen to your show.
I want to know, though, how do you respond to the critics who say, oh, my God, all you're going to do is give them money to go buy drugs, give them money to You've heard it all.
Why do they have to go real quick? Time out.
I'm telling you, because I'm not even waiting to look at the text line. The moment you say universal basic income,
I have a response. Okay, so listen, we're not talking about the San Francisco model. A lot of people immediately go to that. We are talking about your four basic things your four basic things that family has. Food is one of your biggest costs. Housing is one of your biggest costs. Childcare and your health care. Those are your four main biggest costs. If you did universal basic income and you said, hey, and some to the critics that say, no, people are just going to do this and this. What if you gave people a voucher for housing? What if you gave people a voucher for food? What if you gave it for health care? What if you gave it for childcare? What if you gave people vouchers where they could directly pay those bills to folks and it was a voucher? So that argument of people are going to buy drugs and all this other stuff, that takes that out, and let's channel the money to those four basic things.
Joy,
I'm going to say I love that, and that's the first time I've heard even putting it in vouchers.
Joy, I know of, and by the way, I want you to know that I probably don't, I've never told you, but I am a big fan of yours. And I'm a big fan of yours because of what I know you do when the cameras are not rolling on you and when the microphone is not on. I know what you do, and especially a lot of the work that you do centered around food insecurity. Why? Why do you and why are you so passionate about this topic?
Gee, thank you. I'm a big fan of yours, too. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. And I want to say, to show up for community, I didn't have to run for elected office. This is another piece. I wanted to show up for community since I've been here since 1984, showing up for community. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it, I got into this work back in 2020 with food distribution through different food banks from Northwest Harvest to Emergency Feeding Program, where we were literally on the front lines doing food distribution in our entire state. And I told someone, no one will ever know the feeling of watching a nurse put in a 10-hour, 10-hour, whatever the shift is at a hospital, and then go stand in line for 2 hours to get some food because they can't afford it during the pandemic. To see that, or to see people crying in their cars waiting for food when we couldn't do it hand to hand because of the COVID. We had to do it through people's cars, or that we had some walk-up stuff. to see people wait in line, drive 3-4 hours just to get a box of food, that right there is like, where are we at right now? We have to make sure that our food system is safe for people, because that is the one piece that makes people healthy and connected and secure.
I wanted to ask one thing, because there is something that is coming up later this month, this religious concert that is going to be held at Gasworks Park instead of Cal Anderson Park. And the last time this same group had an event, it ended up with the arrests of more than 30 people. It was a big clash at Cal Anderson Park. And Mayor Harrell said the city is obligated under the First Amendment to approve this permit for this very same group. And I just wanted you to share your thoughts on this as well.
Yeah, so I believe, I know we put out a statement yesterday, the mayor and I, regarding this event, where the organizers and we were able to work with them to have it relocate to Gasworks Park, regarding feedback that we heard from community. And I'll tell you this, as an elected official, it's very difficult to be in a position where we are trying to make sure that there's just peace. I want to protect the First Amendment rights of people. I also want to protect peace. And oftentimes that comes at a very big challenge when sometimes you might not agree with someone in their First Amendment speech, or you might not agree with certain things people are doing. But the reality is we live under a constitution, and I'm willing to protect that as a Seattle City Council member. And I am trying to protect peace in our city. I will get cream. People will go in on me for certain things that I say and do. But at the end of the day, I just want peace in Seattle and to make sure that we can protect that.
We got a few more seconds left here with you, Joy, and this is the voice of Joy Hollingsworth, Seattle City Council member. You were really good at basketball at Seattle Prep. I mean, really good. And your grandmother, Dorothy, right? Let me ask you this. How has your ties and being in playing basketball and your grandmother, Dorothy, helped you be the councilwoman and elected official that you are?
Incredibly grateful for my grandmother's influence. They used to call her the Velvet Hammer, right? And so she was really soft, but she was really hard at the same time. And so I take that also with the competitive nature as I have in basketball, to be able to be nimble, to move. I don't take things personally. People always say, hey, how do you deal with people screaming at you or, yelling at you? I'm like, I used to sit in front of 10, 15,000 people playing on a basketball court, yelling crazy stuff to you, right? Right? Has anyone ever played at Stanford Stadium and had those people down in Palo Alto yell at you, or, go to play in Maryland, all these big places where you had to be focused on what you did and did it well. And I think that I take that and I talk about, I really in this political game have found my new arena after basketball in this new phase. And I wear Dorothy around my neck.
I was going to say, I love your Dorothy necklace.
Thank you. Because it's just like the quiet power and the strength that she had. She was born in 1920, South Carolina, on the same land. Her family were enslaved. Like, if she can go through that in South Carolina, I can go through what we're doing right now.
And I just encourage folks listening right now to look into Joy's grandmother, Dorothy. Someone texted in and said, Joy's grandmother was one of the best movers and shakers in Seattle's urban renewal projects, and she did it all in high heels, looking like she was fresh off of the Ebony Fashion Fair's runway.
She did. I did not inherit her heels from her, though. I got sneakers and some Air Max. There's no way. She had the highest heels, too. But thank you for that.
Thank you so much for joining us and for coming into the studio and to and sharing what you're up to. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, Ursula. Thank you, G. Appreciate y'all.
Are you going to come back?
Of course. Anytime.
That's what they all say. The politicians say, we're going to always come back. We had one person tell us we're going to come back once a month, and it took us 2 years to get him back. But please, you got to come back.
I'm coming back, G. Thank you. Just to hear both of y'all voices. I'm coming back.
That is Joy Hollingsworth, Seattle City Council member. Loved having her hang out here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Coming up next, this is Ursula's You Be the Judge. And I have a feeling, listen, y'all. This next topic is going to have a lot of people fired up, especially if you're a Sonics fan. Oh, Buckle up. We do it next. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
The John Curley Show.
I think the most talented person who's here, and it's John Curley.
By the way, that's my ringtone right there, Coach K.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
We were at this party when I said to you, what about Caitlin Clark? What do you about Caitlin Clark? You said, Curly, you don't know anything about basketball. Let me tell you something.
Sue Bird is the ultimate point guard. I love Sue Bird. Seattle was so very fortunate to have her as her idol, as her hero.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-917-4635, and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-917-4635. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-917-4635 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-917-4635.
Thinking of a Kia EV? Act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for our huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Homeowners, federal tax credits on heat pumps end soon. Home Comfort Alliance can help you save up to 75% on new in-stock heat pumps with combined discounts, utility rebates, and expiring federal tax credits on systems installed by December 31st. These are new in-stock high-efficiency models that will make your home comfortable year-round. Federal tax credits expire December 31st, so don't wait. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com. For all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, it's Home Comfort Alliance, the comfort people.
Bathfitter just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. To celebrate, Bathfitter is offering payments as low as $125 a month. Ursula Reutin here. I chose Bathfitter Northwest because they work here, they live here, and they love making bathrooms better for their neighbors. Custom fit tub and shower solutions are installed in as little as 1 day, and every installation is backed by a lifetime warranty. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule a free consultation. This special offer won't last.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Shop incredible end-of-summer savings
at the Dania Furniture Labor Day sale. For a limited time, take up to 70% off select modern furniture and decor for every room in your home. Stop by one of our 4 local showrooms today or shop online at daniafurniture.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. The Kremlin is downplaying that face-to-face talks between the Russian and Ukrainian presidents are imminent as President Trump urges the two sides to implement a ceasefire in Ukraine. That's according to the BBC. Republican North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis does not trust Russia's Vladimir Putin.
He is tapping us along. And I hope that people just stand up and recognize he's a liar, he's a thug, he's a murderer, he's a rapist, he needs to go.
Following deadly flooding in central Texas, parents are testifying in support of a bill that would put restrictions on camps located in or near flood zones. Cece Stewart is the mother of the only child from Camp Mystic who is still missing after those July 4th floods.
We are forced to pray for the day when our child's body is found and to call that good news. I ask you to carry that reality with you.
Hurricane Erin is not expected to make landfall on the U.S. East Coast, but it is stirring up dangerous waves.
The swimming prohibited signs are up at the beach entrances here in Ocean City. 8-year-old Isla was thankful that she got to go in the water earlier in the week, but admitted it was a challenge.
It was a little cold, and the waves were so big that sometimes I had to swim back.
The weather isn't ideal, but Isla's dad, Matt, says they're doing all they can to make the most of this family trip.
Hanging out in the hotel, hanging out on the boardwalk, and making some fun.
Tim Jimenez for CBS News, Jersey Shore.
Washington State paid about $133 million to change the ferry Wenatchee to hybrid electric power. Former Governor Jay Inslee saying,
"We're leading the world in a decarbonized maritime fleet, starting right here with the Wenatchee."
Less than a month after it hit the water, it is out of service because of a mechanical problem that's causing it to lose power. A spokesperson tells the Seattle Times they are working to find out what happened. What would you do if your plane was stuck on the tarmac? Jazz saxophonist Dave Koz and his bandmates whipped out their instruments for a jam session. Their Alaska Airlines flight from St. Louis to Seattle had been diverted to Boise for repairs, according to the San Francisco Chronicle. Video on Instagram shows passengers swaying in their seats and dancing in the aisle. Why wouldn't you? On Wall Street, the Dow is down 10 points. NASDAQ is off 174. KIRO Newsradio traffic in Seattle. A crash is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound at MLK Junior Way. In Bellevue, a disabled vehicle is blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near Southeast 8th Street. You are slowed down to I-90. All lanes have reopened on southbound I-5 near DuPont after a semi-truck crash earlier. Your backup continues to break up, but travel time Tacoma to Olympia still an hour and 15 minutes. Traffic brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save with 20% inflation discounts and 18 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny today with highs in the mid-70s. It is 66 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is a gorgeous Wednesday morning. Text us on our text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Unfortunately, Seattle Sonics legend Shawn Kemp is back in the news today, and we are going to need your help.
You be the judge.
So prosecutors in Pierce County say former Sonic star Shawn Kemp should serve time behind bars. So according to the News Tribune, they're going to be asking a judge on Friday to sentence him to 9 months in jail after he pled guilty to second-degree assault in that shooting outside the Tacoma Ballroom Mall. It was back in 2023 where he was trying to track down his cell phone. Remember all that? He admitted to firing at a car that he believed was tied to that theft of his iPhone. And that shooting was all caught on video when witnesses in the parking lot noticed a big, tall guy in a red vest walking around with a gun.
Got the gun in his right hand. He's yelling at that guy in the 4Runner.
The plea deal dropped more serious charges, including first-degree assault and drive-by shooting, and cut the firearm enhancements that could have added 10 years to his sentence. So prosecutors are arguing that his actions and the fact that he tossed that loaded gun into some bushes afterward justify the maximum end of the sentencing range, which again is 9 months. But the judge will be deciding later this week. Supporters say, they've filed letters praising Kemp's community work. They say that he's changed, et cetera, et cetera. So my question to you listening and to you, G, is, should he serve the 9 months in jail, or should he be given a lighter sentence?
If I go down right now to the Tacoma Mall, if Chef goes down to the Tacoma Mall right now and shoots at somebody in the parking lot and then afterwards throws the gun in the bushes, would we get time? And I don't care what type of service I have been doing in the community. I don't care about anything that I have been doing. So, look, you can do good work in the community and do dumb stuff in the parking lot. Both can be true. The only reason why Sean Kemp will not serve any time is because at one point in time, he was good at slamming a basketball through the hoop. Outside of that,
you're predicting that he might not even get that 9 months.
No, I don't think so, because I think the influence of Sonics basketball, I think the influence of sports keeps a lot of people from doing time. Yeah. I have said before, and I'll say it again, the criminal justice system cares more about the rich and guilty than the innocent and poor. So at the end of the day, we say 1 minute, we want to hold people accountable, and sometimes we really don't. We want to hold those accountable that we don't like. We want to hold them accountable, but not us.
And as much as I have a little soft spot for Sean Kemp, because I told you of the time that he stood up for me when someone was trying to bully me, a road rager near Seattle Center, and Sean Kemp happened to be driving by and saw what was going on, I will always appreciate that. But I agree with you. 9 months, he's lucky that it was this plea deal dropping the more serious charges, because someone could have gotten killed. I mean, that was reckless as reckless can be.
I'm glad you said that. And if somebody would have gotten killed, then what?
Well, we'd be having an entirely different conversation.
An entire different conversation. So, again, when you see these things happen, there's a reason why you don't just go to a parking lot and shoot off guns that way, because somebody can die. There's consequences to these things.
And the other part of it is, does he learn if he once again gets away with it? And I can't help but think of even folks like, and I'm going to bring up his name, Richard Sherman, who I think, until they face some serious consequences, because of their star power, if you keep giving them a pass, are these actions and behaviors going to change? And again, this, in the case of Sean Kemp, is a slam dunk case.
No.
No pun intended.
Jeez.
Truly no pun intended.
I'm gonna say something that I observed. I haven't personally seen Sean Kemp in a long time. But lately, I have been seeing Sean Kemp on Instagram. And I've been seeing him, like I saw this little beer commercial thing that he kind of did. I mean this with all due respect. Something feels off.
He needs better people around him.
I'm not going there. I don't know who he has around him, but I just know something when I see him now on Instagram and at these different appearances and things, something seems off.
And why is that?
Because
he's making poor choices in terms of his brand, right? I mean, that is what I heard you talking about yesterday.
It could be.
And that's why I say people around him are not maybe counseling him properly. Like, dude, that's not a great thing for your image when you are facing potential jail time.
Yeah. You know what I've learned about that, though? As someone who knows a lot of people that are in the limelight, athletes alike, people that are around, like people that say, oh, he's got some bad people around them. You know, those people get blamed a lot. And I'll say why they shouldn't.
Okay.
Because 99% of the time,
it's the person.
It's the person.
Yeah.
It's not them.
Yeah, I hear you. Take accountability.
It's them.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And the people around them are just going along with them.
I've been in situations where I am advising this, hey, that's not a good idea. That's not a good idea. And they do it anyway.
Yes. No.
You know what I mean?
I stand corrected.
So, but
I appreciate that.
But with Sean Kemp lately, I don't know, man. Just something seems just different. Like, and when you think about the Sean Kemp brand right now, you think you go downtown and you see, okay, Sean Kemp's, get some weed right here. Sean Kemp's the name right here. Then you see this little commercial and you see them just slamming a beer. It's like, yo, remember Sean Kemp? I've been watching me. The first time I ever saw Sean Kemp, I was in 6th grade when he played for Concord High School in the state of Indiana.
Oh, what?
Yeah. That's how far back I go with Sean Kemp.
Wow.
I was in 6th grade, 1988. And boy, was he good when he played for the Concord Minutemen. So, anyway, that you be the judge. A lot of people weighed in on that topic.
Okay, what are they saying?
Yeah, he needs to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, coming up next, in scenarios, guy writes in, I don't know, I'm a little scared to do this scenario. You guys tell me if I should. But his guy writes in, he says his daughter needs intervention. Talks about her being 100 pounds overweight. Yeah, we'll talk about it next. Gee and Ursula.
This fall, Seattle Symphony music director Shen Zhang begins her debut season at Benaroya Hall. On September 13th, Shen conducts Grieg Piano Concerto with pianist Simone Terpcheski for the symphony's opening night. On September 18th and 20th, Shen conducts the majestic Pictures at an Exhibition. On October 2nd, 4th, and 5th, Shen conducts Rachmaninoff's dramatic Second Symphony and Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini. Ticket info at seattlesymphony.org.
I've been telling you about my friends at Bathfitter. They are celebrating a huge milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. And why is that important? Well, that means that that's 42,000 families and homes that have been beautified and are enjoying their new upgraded bathrooms. And to celebrate, Bathfitter is offering monthly payments as low as $125 a month. So there's no better time to get that bathroom upgraded than right now. Now, I chose Bathfitter Northwest because they work here, they live here, and they love making bathrooms better for their community. Custom fit tub and shower solutions are installed in as little as 1 day. I've had it done myself, and they're in, they're out, no mess, no odors, and every single installation is backed by a lifetime warranty. Call Bathfitter today or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule a free consultation because this special offer is not going to last.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy G. Scott here. Look, college students, listen up. Whether you're at a university, junior college, or tech school, Safeway's got your back with 5% off for just being a student. All you got to do is verify your student ID in the app. Boom. Instant savings and exclusive deals. And parents, I see you too. Make life easier with online shopping and delivery. If it's your first time using delivery, guess what? You get $30 off your first order. Now, here's the real game changer. Fresh Pass. Subscribe and enjoy unlimited free delivery and special offers. And if you use EBT, you get Fresh Pass for 50% off plus big savings on fresh produce. That's right. Healthy food, delivered, and affordable. It's a lot of info, I know, but the savings, significant and worth the time. So if you have or know a college student, make sure they visit Safeway.com/for-you. That's FOR in the letter U. Again, Safeway.com/for-you.
Are you happy with how you're feeling these days? Are you slowing down physically or mentally? Ever wonder what your life will be like 10 to 15 years from now? Most of us don't really know how we're aging or if we can even do anything about it. But here's the truth. Knowledge is power, and that's exactly where we start at Longevity Medical Clinic. We run advanced diagnostics to find out what's really going on inside your body, and then we create a personalized hormone and health optimization plan designed specifically to help you live better starting now. Our patients are often amazed by what they discover in their blood work, and even more amazed at how quickly they start to feel like themselves again. This isn't guesswork, it's science, it's personal, and it works. Take the first step today. Call 425-633-1820 or visit longevitymedicalclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better today and every day after that.
Goodbye baseball. Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners' postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call. Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out until the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part? Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off bastion in the 9th inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Saturday, August 23rd, enjoy the 30th birthday bash for University Place at Cirque Park, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Bands all day, over 50 vendors, beer garden, and family zone. Don't miss it August 23rd. Special thanks to UP Refuse and Recycling.
It's Gee and Ursula, everybody. Let's get to scenarios.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My 15-year-old daughter is a pig, and I don't know what to do with her. I know, guys, I wasn't going to sugarcoat this one. I'm just going to put it right out there. She's 100 pounds overweight, eats nothing but junk food, and won't listen to anyone. It's like she doesn't care about how she looks. My husband says we have to leave her alone and be careful about what we say because body shaming could scar her for life. But she doesn't seem to care about the teasing or that guys aren't interested in her. Every time I mention it, she says, there are plenty of guys who like a heavy girl. I'll probably be a star on OnlyFans someday. Now that has freaked me out too. Why would she be thinking like this? I have no idea what to do here. 888-973-5476. Ursula, this is in your wheelhouse. What you got?
Which part is in my wheelhouse?
Parenting.
Oh, parenting. Okay.
Parenting. Ooh, my bad. Parenting.
Okay. So first of all, I think Dad is correct. Mm-hmm. So I would say listen to Dad because body shaming is damaging, long-lasting, and the last thing that will motivate anyone is to just hammer them about something that they either already are going through, already feel. Again, it's going to accomplish nothing other than drive a wedge even further and maybe make her even more defiant in terms of what she needs to focus on is, hey, I'm here for you, and I'm more worried about your health. It should have nothing to do with how she looks, whether she's going to get guys. I think the kid is just saying, I'm going to do OnlyFans because she wants to hack her mom off, get her off her back.
Yeah.
So, again, I would be more concerned about the health aspect. You know, could she be going through some kind of depression? It's not about... And the way, by the way, the way she said, my daughter's a pig, there's zero respect there. And again, I would have a much bigger issue with the mom. I think that she needs to be worried about her health, her well-being, not whether she's going to be attractive to guys.
If her daughter's 15 years old and her daughter is 100 pounds overweight, it's either hereditary or environment. Okay, Mom? The way you just called your daughter a pig in this topic lets me know that it's environment. And that the reason why she might be 100 pounds overweight, like you said, Ursula, there's a bit of depression. There's something that's not going right around the house.
Or she hasn't grown up knowing good eating habits.
Absolutely.
Or she is stuffing her feelings with her food.
So as parents, sometimes you got to look in the mirror and say to yourself, self, what am I doing to cause this that you're so unhappy about? Because if you call her a pig, which that in itself tells a lot. You call your daughter a pig. Come on now.
Okay, you said this would be right in my wheelhouse with the parenting thing. I will say something, and for those of my friends and listeners who have Filipinos in their life, you know that weight is a big thing, and it's a big topic, and is something that is thrown around in the Filipino culture. And I mean, they will just call you out if they think that you're even slightly overweight. They'll be like, taba, you're fat, kind of thing. And I would go round and round and round with my mom, because when I gained a little bit of weight, I mean, she was the first one to point it out.
Right.
And again, I will just say this. It is very damaging. It does nothing when someone tells you what you need to do about your weight. You need to be encouraging. You need to be more concerned about the health aspect versus the physical aspect. I mean, and I love my mom. I mean, don't get me wrong. And we would just have very open conversations. But, I mean, there is this obsession, and I think something else is going on in that household.
Yeah.
Very briefly, you're the mom. You're responsible for providing the healthy food in the house, not the junk food. And second, you have already body shamed her. If you're calling your daughter a pig, she can feel the disgust coming off of you in waves. You need to change your relationship with your daughter.
I was going to say that. If I got some cousins listening, they'll know. My mom is the worst. She literally, that's her comments. That's some people say, hey, how's the weather? Hey, oh my goodness, traffic. My mama, it's your weight. All the time. Nick,
some people are a little too honest there. I get the health concern and worry about the OnlyFans, but this is the wrong approach to letting her know your worries. Maybe going a little easier than calling her a pig, because that immediately puts her feeling down, like you said, and out. And good luck getting her to cooperate with that attitude. So just lightly dive in next time. And these kinds of problems or solutions, so be it, take time. So don't expect like a solution with the snap of the finger and talking to her in that kind of way either.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, Ursula, we got the 11 o'clock hour coming. At 11:30, it will be Agree to Disagree. And up next, you all remember it was that Everett mom that was in ICE custody with son. Well, this Everett mom describes the weeks in ICE custody. And Ursula, we're going to talk about that?
Yes.
All right, we'll discuss that next. Gee and Ursula.
We may win, but we will never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. So take it easy.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO Newsradio.
Are you finding it hard to stay cool in your home during hot weather? The issue is likely your window's poor quality and lack of heat deflecting technology. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards and come with high-performance Sun Matrix glass, which can help keep the summer heat out. Combined with our leak armor installation, your comfort will be secured for a lifetime. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust. Visit lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves with Active Liver from New Nordic. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
More fiber and laxatives, eh? Who are you? I'm Future You. Future me? Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Our doctor figured it out. It's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
You know that cartoon of the three-eyed fish swimming in polluted water next to a nuclear power plant?
Yeah, classic.
I used to think that was real, but I just learned that nuclear energy waste isn't some glowing green goo. It's actually used fuel rods from nuclear reactors that made electricity.
Wait, so no barrels of leaking sludge?
No, solid used fuel rods are safely stored at all the nuclear power plants in the U.S., including the one in Richland.
So the cartoon fish isn't real?
Not even close. Learn the facts about nuclear energy and used fuel at energy-northwest.com.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never developed cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. Hurricane Aaron may stay offshore, but it's a big storm and it will pack a punch. North Carolina's Emergency Director William Ray.
I want to remind everyone, regardless of the track of the center of the storm, dangerous conditions can be felt far from the eye, especially with a system as large as Aaron.
CBS's Rob Marciano is in the Outer Banks where the waves are growing.
We've got 10, 11
7-footers this morning. That's expected to build to 15 or even 20 feet as we go through tomorrow afternoon. So that will cut into some of these dunes, likely overwash some roadways, potentially cut off the lower half of the Outer Banks here.
Life-threatening surf and strong winds will lash the East Coast through at least tomorrow. The Republican-controlled Texas House of Representatives is expected to approve a new congressional map, creating 5 new GOP seats. CBS's Finn Gomez is following.
Once the maps are passed, legal challenges from Democrats and allies are expected to be filed. Lawyers and advocacy groups are preparing lawsuits and gearing up for a litigious fight. So this is not over, but it does get a lot more difficult to counter these new seats pushed by the Texas Republicans.
Israel has entered the first stages of its planned assault on Gaza City. Correspondent Rami Inocencio has the latest.
Israel is calling up 60,000 new reservists, which is its biggest call-up ever since the events of October 7th. And the military is also extending service for another 20,000 soldiers that are already operating in the field. So in total, this would bring to 130,000 the number of military personnel on active duty as it ramps up its Gaza assault.
There was a meeting today between NATO military officials to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine. CBS's Aaron Navarro reports from the White House. Moscow is calling those talks a non-starter.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio is leading the U.S. effort to firm up these security guarantees. President Trump and the White House have made clear that U.S. troops on the ground is an option that they are ruling out, while keeping the option open for potential U.S. air defense to assist in whatever a security agreement looks like. In the meantime, the word we're hearing from Russia is that they believe any agreement without Russia's input is, quote, a road to nowhere. So certainly a lot of things left to hash out between the U.S. and Europe, and then you have to get buy-in from Russia.
Target has named a new chief executive as it tries to revive its reputation as affordable but stylish. On Wall Street, stocks are lower. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Is your local grocery store set to close? 2 more added to the list. The story after KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Seattle, a crash is blocking a lane on I-5 northbound at MLK Junior Way. In Bellevue, a disabled vehicle blocking a lane on I-405 northbound near Southeast 8th Street. All lanes have reopened on southbound I-5 near DuPont after an earlier semi-truck crash. Your backup continues to break up at your travel time Tacoma to Olympia, stubbornly an hour and 17 minutes. Traffic brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A beloved Seattle dog walker and grandmother murdered 1 year ago today. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey says a new memorial will be unveiled.
Friends of Ruth Dalton hope people will remember her as a kind woman and gentle soul.
Ruth was just doing her job and doing what she loved to do when she was brutally murdered.
Prosecutors say suspect Jamed Hayes killed Dalton and her dog Prince, but is mentally unfit to stand trial. The city will unveil a memorial plaque in Madison Park near where the 80-year-old grandmother would walk her neighbor's dogs along the beach. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Amid rising tensions and growing public concern, a religious concert planned for Cal Anderson Park in Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood will be relocated to Gasworks Park. A similar concert and prayer at Cal Anderson led to this violent clash in May. The latest concert at Gasworks Park is scheduled for 10 days from now. The list of local Fred Meyer stores set to close is growing. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibow explains.
The Redmond and Lake City stores most recently added on Tuesday. They joined the Everett and Kent locations, with all 4 set to be gone by mid-October.
It's super close, it's always super busy, so that's surprising that it's closing.
There's not really other grocery stores nearby. This is very convenient for us.
This Lake City location has been a staple for shoppers in this neighborhood for years. and they're sad to see it go.
Parent company Kroger says rising crime and regulations make the stores unviable. The city of Tacoma has agreed to pay $600,000 to former police officer Timothy Rankin, who claims city leaders defamed him after the death of Manny Ellis in police custody. Rankin was one of 3 officers who were acquitted in Ellis's 2020 death, but he says the city ruined his reputation. Tacoma's already paid Rankin and the 2 other cops $500,000 each to resign from the police department. The Mariners' Victor Robles has learned his punishment for this.
He picks up the bat and throws it at Estes. He's been tossed.
Robles got a 10-game suspension for hurling his bat during a rehab assignment in AAA. He apologized and says he was frustrated after being hit multiple times in the series. The Seattle Times reports Robles plans to appeal the suspension. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs in the mid-70s. It's 68 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show, everybody. Happy Wednesday, August 20th. Ursula, do you believe in prenups before marriage?
I don't have one.
When I asked you.
I don't have one, but I would counsel differently than I did, I guess, in the future.
Okay. Well, prenups are a topic, but here's one even further. How about chore? Chore prenups, where you put it in writing before you get married. Hey, baby, you take out the garbage. You do the vacuuming. You clean the nasty bathrooms. There's chore prenups these days, Ursula.
Ay. Okay, that part, I think you at least need to have conversations, but prenups over that?
Prenups?
Yeah, there are a lot of things that conversations you need to have before you get married that people just don't.
Because some of these folks get married and they look at their boo like they supposed to do all the chores.
Yes, it's very true.
All right.
Okay, text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. During the break, I just read a long text from Michael in Maple Valley, and if I haven't said it lately, our listeners are truly amazing. People who share their thoughts on topics, and they go deep. And remember, I was telling you that the bags under my eyes are really big today because I was going deep on this whole grocery topic. Mm-hmm. And Michael in Maple Valley texted in and got into just so many of the topics that we have. And I really appreciate all of you who take the time not only to listen, but to think about what it is we're talking about and then bring in your own feedback.
There is a subset of, and by the way, they don't always text in. We have a percentage of listeners that want to go deep into these topics that you just can't just say and stay on the surface with this.
And I so appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And I know that Michael is probably one of those listeners that he would disagree with me on many things.
Don't nobody disagree with you, Ursula. It's just me.
True. Okay, but anyway, we've got a full hour for you.
Yeah.
And so let's get to it. And let's start on that.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
I was so full of love for our listeners, I forgot what I was doing. Okay. So we need to give you an update because a state employee and her 6-year-old son are back home after spending 3 weeks in federal detention, but she's still going to need to wear an ankle monitor. So her name is Sarah Shaw. She is a New Zealand citizen who works for the Department of Children, Youth and Families, and she was detained at the Canadian border last month after dropping off her 2 older kids at the Vancouver International Airport. So ICE agents flagged her immigration paperwork, which did include a valid work permit, but the travel part of her combo card had expired. Mm-hmm. And if we haven't emphasized it lately, y'all got to be perfect. If you are not here and as a U.S. citizen, you better be basically perfect because you will be flagged. And it's this whole travel portion of her combo card being expired. It's something that her attorney says wasn't clearly communicated on the document. So instead of resolving it at the border, Shaw and her young son were flown all the way to a family detention center in Texas, where they remained for 21 days.
Yeah.
So friends are saying that this experience was traumatic, especially for her son, who has lived in the U.S. since he was 2 years old. He didn't understand why they were being treated like criminals. They were finally released on Friday, but she was fitted with an ankle monitor and then dropped off in Laredo, Texas, and they had to take a 2.5-hour Uber ride just to catch a flight home. So her attorney is Minda Thorward, and she spoke to the New Zealand Herald about what travelers to the U.S. need to expect.
What is your message to any Kiwis who might be wanting to travel to the States or come in and out of the States?
So I would just say that they should expect greater scrutiny. They should expect to be pulled into secondary questioning, possibly, or even denied admission. So, if you're coming to the U.S., just expect that you might be denied admission. There are some other tips I can give as well. Like, I'd recommend using Signal, downloading that and using that for your messaging, disappearing messages. I would expect that your smartphones and laptops will be searched. So best to leave them at home or use burner phones, or at least if you have to bring them, scrub them of your personal information, scrub your social media. It sounds like I'm talking about authoritarian country, but that's kind of the situation here at the moment.
Okay. Do you find that fear-mongering, or are you thinking that is the advice that I would give? Because frankly, that was the advice that I gave my family members visiting here.
Am I allowed to have and speak freely about the conversation I had with your sister?
Yes, please. Yes. My sister who visited from Germany, and you met her at the party.
Right.
Yeah, she and her husband.
And they talked.
Not you. They're not U.S. citizens.
No, and your sister Tina. They talked about this very thing.
Yes.
Because they were like, hey, thinking that maybe they should go and visit Vancouver, BC, since you're so close. But she was like, I don't know if I want to take that chance because of everything that's going on. Like you continue to say, Ursula, if you are not extremely sure, don't take a chance. And that next thing about if you have said something on your cell phone, you've sent text messages, understand that when you go through customs, they have the right to look at your phone. So all of the air quotes, the rights that you have, when you are there going through customs, they can grab your phone. And so when this has happened, and by the way, when you hear the part about it being traumatic for the little 3-year-old and going through this, I want to remind everyone, in this country, we have had a continued pattern of treating people like criminals based on the color of their skin, ethnicity, their gender, their sexual orientation. You know what? No, it's not good. It's not good when young kids have to be traumatically. These are things that they'll never forget a day in their life. You'll never forget. If you're listening right now, you'll never forget the time of being pulled out of your car on the ground, guns drawn, and you did not commit a crime. Mm-hmm. You don't forget those things, Ursula.
Yeah, that is something that you have experienced.
Absolutely. And so this topic, while my heart breaks, I want people to know, and I don't see if you agree with this, this is a new day in the United States of America.
Yes.
And I'm curious how the World Cup is going to really go down here next year here in Seattle.
I am curious, and I'm curious what kind of education, what kind of advice people are going to be given. We have talked about, there was that story about how Canadians are not coming to Seattle anymore. And there's some talking heads who are trying to blame it on all the crime happening in Seattle. I'm sorry, but that's not the reason why Canadians are choosing not to come to the U.S.
Ursula?
Talk to the Canadians.
Ursula,
yes.
Can I help me?
Yes.
Why?
Because it fits a narrative. Yeah, you know.
No, but why?
It really, it's silliness, because that is not why Canadians are choosing not to go to Vegas. That's not why Canadians, and by the way, Chef, you were just in Canada. They still love us. They still love Americans. They just don't like American policies right now. And so they're choosing, when they're being told that they are going to become the 51st state and just not getting a whole lot of respect, they're being very much about Canadian first. So any sort of explanation you're being told that Canadians are boycotting Seattle, the Seattle area, because of our crime issues, it's silliness. Okay, that is not why they're choosing not to spend their dollars here. Mm-hmm. But this is real, what is happening. U.S. Immigration Services says it's actually going to start considering, this is a quote, anti-American activity, including promoting anti-American ideologies when it decides whether or not immigrants can live or work in the U.S. And our own Heather Bosch spoke with Seattle immigration and civil rights attorney Andrew Chan, who has a lot of concerns about this.
My first thought is that it's unconstitutional. It's vague. It's broad. It could lead to a chilling effect on free speech.
Yeah. So again, and you talked about scrubbing laptops, or the previous attorney that you heard said, use Signal because those things vanish and there's no trace of it. I mean, we are living in a very different time. And there are people who are going to text us or are going to tell us or think it in their heads right now, this is exactly what I voted for. This is exactly what I want.
And you're right, there will be. But is this really what you wanted? I mean, for the people, I get it. You love the man. You love this administration. You want to make America great again. I get it. But did you really foresee a time where there will be people in the United States that are afraid to be here, losing some of their freedoms? Did you ever think that the free world, everywhere around the world, is starting to look at the United States as if we used to watch
be a point of pride, just like, and I still love this country.
Yeah.
I'm still proud that I became an American citizen. But right now, our image is tarnished. Absolutely. Beth and Ever just texted and said, my fiance lives in Italy and has a green card, but I've told him to not come visit me right now. He had a few traffic tickets about 10 years ago, and I don't want him to risk being kicked out of the country for 5+ years.
By the way, the phone searches,
yes,
that's not just happening to foreign nationals. It's also happening to U.S. citizens. So, I mean, if you look at the direction that we're going, states like Oklahoma, that are now requiring teachers who come from other states to take an America First test to determine if they have the right ideology to teach in that state. At what point does your social media history become suspect because you've said something negative about dear leader?
Yeah,
that is just that
feels
is a play.
Un-American.
It is.
Yes,
it absolutely is.
Yes, for sure. Okay, but now I got to bring this up because people have asked already the previous time we were talking about immigration. Did you bring up this case in Florida? So I do want to bring it up because there is this deadly crash in Florida that is now turning into a national controversy, and our state is right in the middle of it. Federal investigators say a semi-truck driver who tried to make an illegal U-turn and slammed into a minivan, killing all 3 people inside, should never have been on the road in the first place. And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is pointing the finger at what he calls radical immigration policies and non-enforcement states like Washington and California. So according to this investigation, the driver did not speak English, but he still managed to get a Washington commercial driver's license in 2023, and he later also got a license in California in 2024. He may have even been pulled over in New Mexico this year without being given the federally required English proficiency test. And when investigators did finally give him that test, he reportedly answered only 2 of 12 questions correctly and could only identify 1 out of 14 highway signs. So Duffy is calling this a preventable tragedy. He's vowing to hold states like Washington and California, in his words, the bad actors, accountable. And he says that President Trump's administration will revoke licenses for drivers who cannot speak English during traffic stops, and says the families of the victims deserve justice. So I know you've had a chance to read through the story, and this is another one I was kind of doing a little bit of a deep dive because I wanted to know, how did our sanctuary policies play directly into this, or did they?
I mean, right now, if you go to work somewhere, you show the documents, right? The I-9 form gets filled out, and you show, okay, driver's license, check, social security card, check, right? You show all of the important information. Now, as far as your citizenship and your status of that, that's not a question that's supposed to be checked off. Now, with that being said, here in this country, because for some reason people seem to doubt the benefit of having undocumented immigrants and what they have really done for our country, right? All of the great work they've done. As a matter of fact, I would say the United States of America has been built on immigrants. Check the history books. Now, Ursula, you know what could be easily done? Why don't you, any company out here, whether it's Microsoft or Amazon, or Walmart, or any of these big companies, if you have one undocumented immigrant working for you, threaten them to shut them down. Mar-a-Lago was built, had a lot of immigrants at one point working theirs too. I don't know if they still do, right? So why don't they
Most farms, most restaurants?
Yeah, farms, restaurants. Why don't they go do E-Verify? You want to know why they won't do that? Because this country, write this down, the United States of America cannot function without the undocumented immigrants that are in this country.
Doing a lot of the work that others people don't want to do.
Yeah, I didn't mince my words.
Yes.
The United States of America cannot function. That's the reason why you will not do E-Verify.
Well, I also want to go into something else. And I agree with you on that point. But looking into this really has nothing to do. What happened there was horrific. It sounds like that driver should not have had a commercial driver's license, should have been driving a truck. And what happened is horrific, and he needs to face the charges and be deported after that case plays out.
Does anybody think he won't get facing charges? Does anybody think that he won't serve consequences for this?
No, but the problem is that Sean Duffy and others are saying this would have never happened had he not been allowed to get a license in a sanctuary state like the state of Washington. And I'm just going to say that our sanctuary policies only say that local authorities will not do the work of ICE. The problem here is that licensing staff, it appears, accepted documents at face value and gave these licenses without verifying English proficiency. So, I mean, it's convenient to say this wouldn't have happened if Washington wasn't this state where you provide cover for criminals. I mean, that's essentially the argument that they're making. Michael in Maple Valley just texted in and said, driver speaking English killed a mom with 3 in Kent driving over 100 miles per hour. That's a BS excuse. Again, that person shouldn't have been driving, but it's not the sanctuary policies that gave him that cover. It was people not doing their work.
Well, Putin wouldn't be walking on red carpets and riding in the United States of America's presidential vehicle if it weren't for Donald Trump. And maybe they'll release the files at some point of Epstein. Are they going to release it? How did I go there? Because that's the way my brain works.
Yeah.
Because people pick and choose, right? I'm tired of seeing pedophilia be protected. The Epstein files need to come out. Sorry, Ursula. I didn't mean to do that. Coming up next, we'll do Agree to Disagree, and Prenup and Chores comes up. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes, The John Curley Show.
I think the most talented person who's here, and it's John Curley.
By the way, that's my ringtone right there, Coach K.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
We were at this party when I said to you, what about Caitlin Clark? What do you about Caitlin Clark? And you said, Curley, you don't know anything about basketball. Let me tell you something.
Sue Bird is the ultimate point guard. I love Sue Bird. Seattle was so very fortunate to have her as her idol, as her hero.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
I've been telling you about how much I love my Subaru Outback. I've been driving it since 2016. We bought it from Carter Subaru. And the reason we are repeat customers at Carter Subaru is because they know how to treat their customers right. It is our second car that we have purchased from them, and it is because they treat you like family. Carter Subaru is also a dealership that is invested in our community. I mean, look them up, and you'll see the different things that they do for the community because they are truly invested in it. And right now, the Subaru A Lot to Love event is going on through the end of August, and Carter Subaru has an amazing selection. In fact, it's the only dealership in Seattle with the 2025 Outback at 0% for 36 months on approved credit. Or you could take advantage of the federal tax credit before it goes away and lease a 2025 Subaru Solterra, and you'll get a credit of up to $7,500. Head into Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. Not all buyers will qualify for federal tax credit. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. Carter Subaru is buying down the rate for the 2025 Outback. The max amount financed is $20,000. See dealer for details. Valid through 8/31/25.
Windows are a home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Beat rising costs at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For a limited time, get a 20% inflation discount and enjoy easy 18-month free financing with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
AAA asked me if I would change my name from Sir Mix-a-Lot to Sir Mix-a-Lot. I said, why would I do that? They said, you're more than just a rapper. You're a car collector. You're a businessman. You're an inventor. Just like AAA is more than just towing. They have awesome travel advisors and insurance agents. And they got 3 A's in their name. Maybe I should change my name. Give me 3 A's. Mix A, mix A. When I say mix, give me 3 A's. Mix A.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
From the roof to the deck, the siding to the gutters, and energy-efficient windows, State Roofing and Exteriors is your one-stop shop for home protection. With over 55 years serving Western Washington, we don't just work here, we live here. We know what your home is up against when the cold sets in and the rain starts falling. Right now, we're making it easier than ever to get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Spike O'Neill here. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens gave me back the perfect vision I had up until a few years ago. Now, never need glasses again. Never develop cataracts. Been about 6 months since my RLE surgery. My vision is better than it's ever been in my life. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens, privately owned, no corporate shareholders or boardrooms. Dr. Sharp built his business on the principle of always strive to overaccomplish, never overprice. Call 425-451-2020 or go online to sharp-vision.com. That's sharp-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Hartley and Brent Wilcox on mobile pasture eggs from Wilcox Family Farms.
Hartley, you worked with our mobile pasture barns. Tell us what mobile pasture means.
Well, mobile pasture is using a big tractor to pull the barns to new pasture each week. So the hens have fresh, green, nutritious grass to eat every day.
Why is that important?
Well, hens can get about 35% of their diet from the grass and bugs in the pasture. So before they pick one area clean, we just hook the tractor up and move it to fresh green grass.
And the fresh grass makes for the most amazing colored yolks.
At Wilcox Farms, we have over 500 acres of organic pastureland that ensures we never run out of fresh Northwest grass for our hens.
Always check the carton to make sure it's local.
When you see Wilcox, you know it's local, you know it's fresh.
Wilcox is the only local mobile pasture in the Northwest.
You really have to see videos of how it works.
And you can at wilcoxfarms.com.
Remember, the grass is always greener at Wilcox Farms.
We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and owning your own deck is a great way to enjoy it. But finding the right decking solution can be overwhelming. That's why all 9 of our Puget Sound locations offer decking showrooms so you can get your hands and toes on the more than 60 decking options we carry. So if you have any questions about building, maintaining, or repairing your deck, contact me personally. Mike Dunn at dunlumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, your decking headquarters since 1907.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. If you want a green card, watch what you say and post on social media. That's the gist of a new federal policy, and Seattle immigration and civil rights attorney Andrew Chan has concerns.
They're setting up a framework for officers to deny applications simply because they disagree with whatever the individual's constitutionally protected views and expressions are.
Under the new U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services policy, immigrants can be denied a chance to live and work in the U.S. for promoting so-called anti-American ideologies or activities. Washington State Governor Bob Ferguson is responding to what he calls a shameful letter from the U.S. Attorney General.
Washington State will not be bullied or intimidated by threats and legally baseless accusations.
The letter from AG Pam Bondi labels Washington a sanctuary jurisdiction. On Fox News, she threatened to limit federal funding if the state does not comply with ICE and send in the troops, as she did in L.A. and D.C. Ferguson says he's prepared to take on the Trump administration in court. Texas state lawmakers are expected to vote on a Trump administration-backed plan to redraw congressional districts. It would likely turn over 5 seats held by Democrats in the U.S. House to Republicans. CBS's Omar Villafranca.
Now, Democrats in California, they're fighting back, where the party obviously has control of the state there. Dems are looking to counter the move by Texas and redraw their districts. But first, they have to ask voters to approve of those maps. Now, all this moves in both states from the state house to the courthouse because you have California Republicans suing there and Texas Democrats are suing here in federal court. They're asking for a hearing next month to try to stop this.
There's no stopping Hurricane Aaron. It's churning off the East Coast and stirring up some big waves. No swimming signs are up along the Jersey Shore. This visitor needs no convincing.
It's impressive, but it also makes you respect it. You're not going to be able to fight the sea at all.
Aaron is not expected to make landfall, but storm surges, rip currents, and coastal flooding is possible. A newly converted hybrid electric ferry is out of service less than a month after it returned to Washington State's fleet. Former Washington Governor Jay Inslee had praised it.
It's got the most advanced electric propulsion system ferry, not just in Washington, not just in America, but in North America.
A spokesperson tells the Seattle Times there's a mechanical issue, though, causing the Wenatchee to lose power. They're looking into it. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 76 points, NASDAQ off 245. Nate Connors is at the KIRO News Radio traffic desk.
Yeah, thanks, Heather. We've got big issues heading southbound I-5 between Pierce and Thurston County. In fact, it's an hour delay right now between Tacoma and Olympia. This is what we're looking at. South 5, a 5-mile bumper-to-bumper backup along JBLM that starts near Bridgeport Way. Nothing blocking here, just immense volume right now. But South 5 at Pacific Avenue in Olympia, we've got a collision blocking your 3 right lanes. Traffic starts as slow at Marvin Road in Lacey. Tacoma to Olympia is an hour and 40-minute commute. We're in day 3 of the closure of the White River Bridge on State Route 410 in Buckley. We're still waiting for an update from WashDOT. South 5, a little crowded from Northgate into downtown. Linwood to Seattle's at 20 minutes. North 5, you're going to slow down a little bit as you approach the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. Nothing too severe. And outside of that, everywhere else, we're wide open. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs in the mid-70s. It's 68 in downtown Seattle, I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It's time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves, just really go at it.
Some young couples are signing prenuptial agreements, not to protect their assets, but to protect their peace of mind when it comes to household chores. That's right. Couples are actually putting down in writing who is responsible for doing the laundry, the dishes, taking care of the yard, cooking dinner, cleaning the toilet, walking the dog, etc. Ursula, what do you think about a division of household responsibilities as a prenup?
If you're getting into that kind of nitty-gritty before you get married and you actually want it in writing, I just predict trouble in that marriage. I think there are a lot of things that you need to discuss, but getting right down to exactly what chore and then wanting to have that in writing, I don't know. I may be all wrong on this. Our marriage is good, and I've been in it a long time, and we did not have to get into a prenup for chores.
You need that prenup for chores. You need that. There's the chore conversation. Hey, fellas, have you guys ever heard this before? Have you ever heard like your significant other say to you, oh, I shouldn't have to ask you all the time. Yes, I feel like I'm just being your mom. Yeah, it's real out here. Because sometimes, there are people who
Do you know of anybody who has a prenup of chores or has written down or has any kind of checklist?
No, I don't.
But do you know anyone who should have had that?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. And you have a lot
Would that have helped in any of your situations?
See, the thing is, Ursula, let me just say this. You are in a rare situation.
I will admit that. I married a gem.
You married a gem.
Yes, I did.
As a matter of fact, he should probably have agreed to do a chore prenup.
You're not entirely wrong with that either.
I like this idea. I
really?
do. Well, if you're gonna talk about pretty much everything before marriage, whether it's, hey, how do we want to approach finances? Are we going to combine our bank accounts? Whatever. Do you want kids? How do you want to raise them? Where do you want to live? But you don't talk about basic responsibilities. I think that, frankly, it's mostly my gender that falls into this category, but there are some people, they call it weaponized incompetence, right? I don't know how to cook, so I screw up the laundry every time, and mom never taught me how to clean a toilet. I've never actually had to put on a glove and stick my hand in the bowl and do it the proper way, and they just never learn, and that all ends up falling on the other person in that relationship, and A, that's unfair. And B, maybe we should expect that people, grown adults, still have the ability to learn things.
Oh, gosh, yes, that's so true, too.
Like, my wife was not a very good cook when we got married. She's a phenomenal cook now. And I would argue that for the couples who are in a relationship with someone who's like, I just can't I don't know how to do the dishes, laundry. They need to learn.
Yeah. Since I get to vent right now, let me go ahead and vent and say it. My wife has mastered now the macaroni and cheese. I mean, she absolutely does that. If there's one thing I would like for her to really get to master is banana pudding. Banana pudding. I need her to be. Banana pudding is a very hard thing to make. It is not easy. You got to do the proper portion of when those vanilla wafer cookies, you want them to still be hard at the same time. On top of that, it's a hard one to make.
Okay, so what's on her list of things that she wishes you would learn in this age?
Everything. Everything.
Is she still holding on to hope that you'd become a handyman?
Here's the thing. she knows I'm not a handyman. She knows that I'm just gonna call somebody and get it fixed. And and by the way, since we're having this chores conversation, like Kara, the cleaning lady, said, hey, if you get a chance, if you can bring in someone to, help with the economy and help bring in.
I do that really well.
I'm real good at that.
I'm going to make a sweeping statement right now, G, in support of you. People that say they're handy, like I'm decently handy, get stuff fixed way slower and generally for about the same amount of money as it would cost to bring someone in to fix it. Because how many things around your house, if you have someone that's handy and there's like, oh yeah, I'll fix that. And 6 months later, it's still not fixed.
You can have a handy person, but if they're a procrastinator too, that's not helpful.
Well, how about this? How about it getting fixed, but not getting fixed the right way?
Yeah, because it's the first time that they've ever had to install a dryer or whatever.
And then they're going to complain about it the whole time. I'll just bring someone in. Brian in Bellevue texted in, I love this. Things like chores have to be shared, not assigned. This sounds so transactional. That whole thing about, let's sign off on who does what. Do the basics. Talk about whether you want to have kids or not. Talk about the big things. Know that going into your marriage, but right down to who's going to do dishes and.
I think you should. I really think you should. No doubt about it. I think that Lillian does a great job in our household. I probably can step up. I do a good job with garbage.
What's the percentage?
Good job with the garbage.
Because for me, if I'm generous, I'm saying it's 60-40, Mark doing 60. If I'm realistic, it's 70-30.
Okay.
No, maybe 65-35.
Okay. When it comes to now granted, okay, real quick. House cleaners do a lot.
Yes.
Okay, so anything left over when the house cleaners aren't there.
Aside from the house cleaners.
I mean, I should just carry 2 minus 7.
I think you're like me. We have very, very wonderful.
I think it's 80-20.
Do you fold your own Speedos?
Some of y'all don't think I got no Speedos. I got Speedos. Just
We're gonna prove you wrong this week.
I say it's 80-20. 80% Lillian, about 20% me. And me, that counts the garbage. I get the garbage. And as far as handyman, anything that's done inside of the house, handy.
Imagine what person is going to agree to that prenup if they say we're going to do 80-20.
Well, I'm getting better. And when it comes to things being fixed by us two in the house, handy, like the other day she fixed this light deal and she fixed something against the wall, I would say it's 80-20 right there. She does more. She's more handy than me.
Okay, Angela Russell just texted in. She says, chores are huge things. Angela, do you have a chore prenup?
And
Angela, people are wishing we did.
What's your breakdown, Angela? Is it 50-50? All right. Hey, coming up next. Jesus, the end of the show? Wow. Text messages, feedback, and then we have Ursula's Words to Live By.
KIRO Newsradio, the Northwest's trusted news source.
Get the latest from KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch.
It happened Wednesday morning just after 6 o'clock.
Experienced voices you trust.
Several people hurt after a violent Saturday in Pierce County.
Coverage you depend on.
More from KIRO Newsradio's Matt Markovich.
It's as close to a veto warning as you could possibly get.
KIRO Newsradio. We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Have you been thinking about upgrading your bathroom and you're wondering if you're going to have to deal with folks, the work crews being there for a long time or a big, fat, huge bill? I'm going to tell you that is not going to be the case if you choose Bathfitter like our family did. Bathfitter has just hit a big milestone, 42,000 installations in Western Washington. So now couldn't be a better time than to get that bathroom upgraded because Bathfitter is offering monthly payments as low as $125 a month. that is as affordable as it gets. Now, I chose Bath Fitter Northwest because they work here. They're a part of our community. They live here. They love making bathrooms better for their neighbors. And we're talking about custom fit tub and shower solutions that are installed in as little as one day. Every single installation is backed by a lifetime warranty. So if you have been dealing with a dingy bathtub, or you've been thinking about switching from a tub to a shower to make it safer to get in and out of that bathtub, then now is the time to do it. Call Bathfitter or visit bathfitternw.com to schedule a free consultation. This special offer is not going to last.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. Openphone.com/TRY.
The Subaru A Lot to Love event is going on through the end of August. Carter Subaru is the only dealership in Seattle with the 2025 Outback at 0% for 36 months. Or take advantage of the federal tax credit before it goes away and lease a 2025 Subaru Solterra. Get a credit of up to $7,500. Head into Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard today.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. Not all buyers will qualify for federal tax credit. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. Carter Subaru is buying down the rate for the 2025 Outback. The maximum financed is $20,000. See dealer for details. Valid through 8/31/25.
At Care Partners Senior Living, we believe in providing quality care at an affordable price. Instead of spending on luxury and expensive art, we invest in our people and accommodations with a focus on compassionate overall health. Our communities offer independent, assisted living, and memory care designed to preserve dignity, independence, and your estate. Affordable, personal, trusted. That's our promise. Please give us a call. We have beautiful Care Partners communities throughout Washington and Arizona. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp, owner of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Dr. Sharp, I am amazed at the brightness and the clarity that I didn't even realize I'd lost before I had my procedure. How's that even possible?
A lot of people don't realize that. As you get older, the lens not only is less flexible, but it gets less transparent. And gradually, even in our 40s, 50s, 60s, the lens variety does get less transparent. So you get more glare at night, more halos, loss of contrast sensitivity, loss of some color vision or decreased color vision.
What I was seeing.
And so when we replace that lens that gets cloudier and cloudier with a crystal clear lens, all of the light gets through, all of the clarity, all the brightness, all the colors. And again, with the multifocal lenses that we have, it's sort of like a bifocal built in, so you can see near and far.
Give the folks at Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens a call at 425-451-2020 or online at sharp-vision.com. Sharp with an E-vision.com.
Northwest homeowners, when it comes to your roof, you need a name you can trust. Techline Roofing has proudly served the Seattle area for years, delivering exceptional results and lasting security. Choose Techline Roofing. Your trust is our foundation. Trust Techline.
If you're thinking about renovating an attic, spending more time in your sunroom, or building onto your home, a Carrier ductless unit is the perfect solution for climate control. It's efficient, quiet, and incredibly flexible when it comes to installation because there's no ductwork required. It's just one more way we're making your home totally comfortable.
Your local Carrier heating and cooling dealer will improve your home's comfort, air quality, and efficiency. Visit CarrierNorthwest.com to find the expert near you. Carrier, turn to the experts.
Yo, it's G and Ursula. I just want to share this before you get started, Ursula. We prepare a show every single day. We do the pre-show prep. We do all these things. We're going to talk about all these things. We literally never know what's going to be the number one topic, and I think we just found it.
Yeah, and that is, should you do chore prenups before you get married? And man, we're seeing you. We hear you. We see you. Y'all are venting right now.
I'm venting.
You all, okay, one you just
Lori?
saw.
Let's
Yeah,
go Lori
ahead.
in North Bend. She texted in and says, it was a verbal agreement. I said I would take care of the inside of the house. He would take care of the outside of the house. I duped myself because I'm from Southern California. So much needs to be done outside the house. Didn't realize people don't mow the lawns year round here. Not fair. And then somebody commented, chefs commented, laugh out loud. And then Lori goes on to say, and talking about it's been 11 years and he's now finally helping me put the dishes away, and that was just started 2 months ago.
Oh no. Okay, Tammy in the 360 says, I wish we had done a list. My husband is I don't know how to. I asked him to cook just once a month 8 years ago. Still nothing. It is so frustrating. And yes, Ursula, we have bigger problems than that, but it's a small sign. And then Callan Renton says, you don't need a prenup for chores. It's easy to observe how people live and whether or not they take care of their home and property. If someone's messy or lazy and you're just not into that, don't marry them.
Yeah.
And then I like what Mary and Queen Anne says.
What's that?
Don't do a chore prenuptial. How about a discussion of chore expectations?
Yeah. Can I, Ursula?
You want it in writing.
With your chores around your house, is there ever a time that you feel bad?
Always.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked.
Always. Hey. But I'm going to say this, and again, which is why he has this label of long live Mark. He doesn't complain. He doesn't love me any less. I try to do where I can, when I can. And there are just certain things I will do more often. Mm-hmm. And we're lucky enough to get help and bring in help.
Yeah.
But I give him credit for doing way more than I do.
Let's be honest, though. There are some people who do the bulk of the chores who are a martyr. Oh. You know, they put that on their back because they secretly like the control.
Yes. And he doesn't. And I mean,
I'm not saying that's him.
No.
Yeah.
The times that I have tried to put dishes in, I think he just figures he's going to have to redo them anyway. Not an excuse.
Okay, this isn't a sweeping statement. This is just me. I'm going to say this out loud and pray I don't get in trouble.
Oh, no.
All right. You know, sometimes there are reasons why, like people stay in love in their marriages, and there are certain things that they really love. Like they'll say, "Oh yeah, for better for worse," and I love this person. But there are some things. Sometimes it could be, look, my husband does this the best. I'll never find anybody that can do that for me. I really love that about my significant other. And I know for me, there's stuff that happens in my house that I'd be like, dude, I ain't going nowhere.
Well, you feel very fortunate in so many ways.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I ain't going nowhere.
Okay, one more. I just want to mention that we had Seattle City Council member Joy Hollingsworth live in studio.
Yeah.
She said the next tax increase she approves would also have to include something like UBI for folks who are struggling, and she said it could come in the form of vouchers.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of you folks weighed in on that, but one of the things that I loved is what Don in West Seattle said. Thank you for that interview with Councilmember Joy Hollingsworth. At a time when most of what we are hearing from politicos and their entourages are toxic and negative, it was wonderful to hear a thoughtful, calm, and committed elected official focused on the issues that mattered the most to her constituents. Well done. And I just encourage you to listen on our podcast to that interview. I think there's a lot to like there.
It's time. Your words to live by. What do you got?
This is from Brian Tracy, who says, communication is a skill that you can learn. It's like riding a bicycle or typing. If you're willing to work at it, you can rapidly improve the quality of every part of your life.
Sweeping statement. Men communicate better than women.
Wrong. You know that you wanted just to end with.
I'm just saying, women want the men to read their minds. Nick, what do you got?
Well, I'll admit that I'm not one to start a drop-in choir, especially in this case when a flight holds down the tires, but I'll take impromptu singing or a jazz band in the aisle than a baby crying out or yelling matches out of style. And if I'm a spouse who has to sit closer to all that noise, you can bet some chore prenup duties get pushed over with poise. I think it's fair to sacrifice some of that chore prenup for the unlucky seat in this case.
Okay, good stuff, Nick.
You just wanted to rile people up at the end of the show. Men are better communicators?
Yes, because women always want men to read their minds.
Oh, wow. See why I don't like these hot takes?
How
Is this Hot Takes Wednesday?
How can you be a better communicator if you don't communicate your feelings?
But at least you know what we're thinking.
Oh, boy.
You know what we're thinking. Like you were supposed to ask me this. How would I was supposed to know that, Mildred?
Allie in Tacoma says, dang, G, twice in one day that she has to disagree with you? Beginning of the show and the end of the show.
Hey, Jerry in 206 says simple stuff, G. Simple stuff. We just keep it simple. All right, good stuff, Ursula.
We'll do this again tomorrow.
You coming back?
We'll have stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah. Hey, tomorrow, trust me.
You have to join us tomorrow. You will not be disappointed.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you. And thank you, Nick.
You too.
Appreciate you, man. Hey, the Jake and Spike show, they're coming in next. Stick around. Wait, I'll leave you guys with this. Rubber duckies. Hey, coming up next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
It's just a party, baby. Come on. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. Pump it up.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger, who